Unmuted.
So you're an expert.
I think so.
Are we live?
We're live.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fully Torqued show.
Welcome.
I'm Cody.
I'm Colin.
And welcome back. Well, this is the first time we can say welcome back.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess episode 2 or so.
So we're excited. We got Bone Bag on the show today.
What's up? Whatever.
We're streaming, so this is new for us. And we've got another guest who is sadly off camera. We need to get you in here. But Cody Watts here.
Yeah, what's up?
Mr. Cody, hello.
It's a great one.
Good to have you. Good to have you both, really. Good
Thank
to be
you.
here.
So the room that we're in, I wish we would have been recording earlier when we were just in the room in general. We're kind of in awe of this setup. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I don't know what to say other than it's really cool. I mean, you can see the Nintendo or the Wii U display behind us.
What's the rarest item you have in here, you think? Just in terms of
That's a
like,
tough one.
maybe not most valuable, but just rarest, like hardest to track down.
I'd say probably either the Haunting Ground or the Kuon. The PS2
the
horror
PS2
games. Yeah.
Okay.
So what is it with the PS2 horror games? Or that, like, I know that, like, I already knew just beforehand that those are hard to find for whatever reason.
Yeah, they didn't sell well. I mean, they're not a sports game, so
Yeah, it's not Madden.
Right,
Is basically the reason why.
they're not dumped out every year.
That's cool, though.
And then Atlas, like they have theirs, and they don't make a lot of their stuff anyway.
How do you come across that? Like, was it something you were actively looking for, I would assume?
Not well. I'm just always looking for lots.
Sure.
And then that one was in a lot, and then the other one, Kuon, that came up in a trade offer.
Okay.
And I couldn't really turn that one down.
Dude, yeah. I've got one of those big fat PS2s. I still have like most of my game collection. I mean, it's nothing. It's all of like 30 games. But I mean, they're games that I still love to play all the time, so they're pretty cool.
Right. Still works?
Yeah, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Usually the fat ones, they're the boys to go.
So what are the names that you look out for when you're collecting in lots? Like you said, they don't make any anymore. Like, what are the big names that you know for sure it's going to be a rare game just by who made it?
Yeah, Atlas. Anything. I can't even remember the developer. They made like trying to think of the name. Is it Lufia? Maybe not. Atlas
Are we talking
is
horror games or just anything?
just what's going to be collectible. Like
Oh,
what to look
okay.
out for.
Mhm.
But yeah, Atlas is a big one, and I feel like some of their games today, like Catherine and stuff like that, that's going to be wanted in a few years.
Catherine was really cool. That was digital, right? So it was on the
It was on-
360?
Yeah, it was on. It was physical too.
Okay.
Came with the cool like pizza box special edition with a set of boxers.
That is cool. I don't think I saw that one. That is super neat. I remember, because I played that game briefly, and I saw other people play it on like streams and stuff like that. But it was a cool, like a fancy little puzzle game. So
Yeah, it's different.
Mhm.
I mean, you've got your girlfriend trying to kill you while you sleep as
Hey,
you scale towers. Yeah.
is what it is, right? Kind of a fun little game. Yeah, in air quotes. But yeah, it's cool. I remember, like I said, I thought it was neat. So awesome.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, just the setup in here in general is awesome. What got you into streaming? I mean, you've obviously been collecting well before you were streaming and just gaming in general. But what made you want to make the Twitch jump?
Streaming. I like to play video games anyway. I do it as a hobby, so I wanted an outlet too.
Mhm.
If I can help one person have a better day while I'm having fun too, then that's what it's all about.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna step off camera so I can have a drink.
Okay. And you've been streaming for just about a year now, that's right?
Yeah, something like that. I think a year today.
It's really cool.
Today, most of you.
Oh yeah, it is a year today. We were talking about that earlier.
I got the
Congratulations.
PC a year
Oh,
ago.
year
so-
today?
Yeah,
Dude, that's
it is.
rad.
The timeline reminder, the like memories thing popped up for when you built your streaming PC.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, Facebook's always got your back with stuff like that.
Yeah. Otherwise, you would have had no idea, probably.
Wouldn't it?
No idea.
So, you do a lot of Fortnite streaming. Let's get right into it.
Sure,
We're
yeah.
gonna talk about this fucking Fortnite patch.
5.2. So the patch notes are pretty crazy. Yeah, and Brandon, I'm sure you've got thoughts at least about like different game modes and stuff. I guess the biggest one, right, is the double barrel, right?
Yeah.
So
The double barrel it's definitely gonna get nerfed.
So that's gonna be. Is that an insta kill, like one shot, game over kind of thing? Or?
It usually takes the 2 if they have full shield, full health. But
Okay.
I mean, still then it's not avoidable.
Yeah.
You're not gonna beat it out if you have a tactical or a pump with it.
Yeah, for sure. So.
I haven't used it yet.
Yeah, it dropped today, and I used it in Playground, but it's definitely gonna nerf.
So it already feels OP. Like,
Yeah,
even
it's just like the P90. The P90 they did it a slow motion test and watched all the hit markers on it, and it was actually the same firing rate but more powerful than Thanos' beam. Whenever he was a playable character,
that was supposed to be like a meme almost.
Yeah,
like that was something they were just gonna take out immediately after it started.
Yeah, but then they just gave it back to us with bullets.
Hey,
in the P94.
The people wanted it. They asked for it.
Yeah.
What's changing about the storm mechanics? Because I think that's more interesting than just because the weapons are basically just skins of different things. I mean, all the shotguns are basically the reskinned versions of the other shotguns.
And it's gonna get nerfed anyways.
Yeah.
If it's already that OP day one,
Right?
Yeah.
It's not that long before it's nerfed anyways.
Probably like next couple days, I can
Yeah,
imagine.
that's how-
it can't be fun to play against, right?
No.
So.
No.
That's how the P90 took just 2 or 3 days for the first patch to hit.
I mean, it almost has to be a little intentional. There's no way Epic doesn't know what they're putting in the game. Like it's funny that people are like, it'll be nerfed. Like, there's no way they're like a company like that isn't testing the weapons before they put it in.
Yeah.
I've honestly said, did they even playtest this?
Yeah.
It makes
with
you
the P90. Did they even playtest this before it went to live?
I'm thinking when they put something in like we're talking about it right now, so I'm sure they put it in there. You know, people start talking about it. Hey, this shotgun's crazy. Jump in, check this out.
I think they just want to see how well.
Just to nerf it.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I wonder what the mentality there is, because you'll see, like, for another example, like Overwatch, every time they have like a new character come out, like every single time the character is just unbelievably powerful, like to a point where it's like playing against them just sucks.
Yeah, it's almost like developers get out of touch with the play style of like most players, no matter how big they are.
Yeah.
It happens inevitably. Like,
yeah.
I mean, look at Halo.
Well, and two, it makes me wonder, like, is the thought that they want to change how the game plays? Like, is the thought they want to change, not the meta, but you know what I mean? Like, change how the game, like, is moved? But it doesn't seem like a good move to make a gun that just is not fun.
I think it's rare that game developers care about the meta.
Okay.
It seems like they just want to make stuff that's sells. I mean, it honestly boils down to, you know, if people are going to talk about it and jump in the game and spend money and microtransactions, they'll put it in there.
Buy new skins for this double barrel.
There's a lot of developers rarely seem to care about even like competitive gaming or esports, because it's a small percentage of their audience. Even though like Call of Duty is the biggest game ever, but the amount of people that play Call of Duty in tournaments competitively compared to everyone else who plays Call of Duty is like, it's got to be fractions of a percent. I mean, so for the developer to concentrate more on those people just doesn't make sense. And I'm not saying like Treyarch and Infinity Ward don't, you know, foster competition, because they do like the Call of Duty Globals or whatever it's called, the Call of Duty World Championships, but they're not releasing a game for MLG.
There's also the counter argument too, where I agree with you 100% on that front. Like, make it for as many people like that play the game, but there's people like the big guys are usually the content creators too. Like, they're the guys who make videos, they're the guys people watch. So if they're complaining about games, like it trickles down. You know what I mean? So like, if they think something's real bad, then like they're like the front runners for like the big voices, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that Riot doesn't give a shit if they put something shitty in the game.
Sure.
Like, they obviously care,
yeah,
but they don't. They're not going to care in like the detail that we care.
Oh, of course, and that's why they just react once we have thoughts.
Unless you're Bluehole, then you just don't care at all.
We paid our money.
That's definitely
you bought it. That's that's what you get.
That's definitely the
that's their
exception to the
mentality,
rule.
and that's
We've got
stupid.
your money already.
It's so optimized. It's like so well optimized on PC, and they've just let their console version just stay the way it is.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
and you've
bullshit.
got like your Battlefront 2s. They're basically just giant middle fingers.
Yeah.
So there's definitely
Oh, God.
exceptions.
I think that's what you say is fair though. Like you're catering to the not the lowest common denominator, but the vast majority. Like you're catering to your average player.
Yeah.
So I totally get it. Yeah.
I mean, like, for you, Brandon, like, as someone that plays a lot, and, I mean, you generally play to win. Like, I would say you're in the upper level of Fortnite players. Do you like it when they drop in, like, crazy OP guns, or are you waiting on it to get nerfed just for balance?
I mean, I'll play with it while I've got it. I definitely hate going up against it, but I love it when I get it.
Right. Yeah.
On the front side of it, it's great.
So, I mean, don't mind it when it's working out.
Oh, this is good. I prefer it.
When the P90 was fresh, I found it legendary, and it was doing that kind of damage. I was like, okay, this is a win.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sure enough, it just melted through everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, that P90 was absolutely ridiculous.
the legendary was
Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah. As with anything, I guess there's good and bad with that. I am curious though, Cody. You kind of mentioned it, but the Steady Storm.
Yeah,
right?
let's
Have you
talk
seen?
about that.
Have you seen
No.
much about that, guys? Or
I've seen it. I haven't played it.
I'm wondering how that's going to change the dynamic. The thought is, at least according to the patch notes, is that there's no safe zones, and it says, in quote, "The storm waits for no player. Stay aware of the map and keep moving to the center to stay in the steady storm." So, the whole thought is like you can't do as much like camping anymore, right? Or not
Right.
camping, but you can't be as passive about how you play.
Yeah.
So-
you're always on the run.
So I wonder, is that going to have like its own like following? Like,
So
are
that
people-
was a setting in a separate mode before, right? And now it's just a global setting?
No, well, that game mode, it's just kind of you dropped into where it was already at. Remember, it was
Okay,
already
right.
It
so
was a
far
sound-
from the
right,
map,
that's
and
right,
then it
yeah.
continued on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whereas this sounds like it's just steadily going the whole
Instead
time.
of going like every 2 or 3 minutes, it'll just doesn't
Yeah.
stop.
I wonder how slow that'll be too. Like if it like changes pace throughout the game, or if
Yeah.
it's just the same thing.
Yeah, and I feel like Fortnite already had a pretty good pace.
Mhm.
So, and I played earlier, and I didn't really, strangely, I didn't even notice that change.
Mhm.
But now that I realize, I'll definitely notice it.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of people that they hate the new mode, and then I've seen that they love the new mode. Like
Mhm.
you said, there'd be a following, but so far it's kind of 50-50 up in
You
the
think so?
air. Yeah.
So it makes me wonder if it will. I don't know. I mean, it'll stay obviously, but I'm curious how like favored it will be in the long term. Like it changes the feel, maybe not super dramatically, but I mean there is a difference, right? Like
Right.
there has to be for sure. So have you haven't tried it yet?
No,
You say,
not
or okay?
I'm sure it's going to be like, if it gets enough good feedback, it'll be like the 50v50.
Sure, yeah.
Where it's
Mhm.
in all the
So
time.
it's a separate mode right now.
Yeah. It's just completely different. Limited time game mode.
Okay.
Just like the jetpack and
Yeah.
explosives.
Well, we kind of. I will be interested. Like I said, I'll be definitely interested to see how that kind of builds. So I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing everything new. Trying out the shotgun and regular solos instead of playground, but
Sure. Well, and then there's
a whole bunch of leaks.
yeah. I don't know if this was in it big before, but the horde challenges. I'm not super familiar with those, but
That's in that's in the Save the World.
Save the World.
Is it in
Just
Save the World?
base game.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was also.
oh,
wondering.
okay. Then never mind.
I was also
So,
wondering
I
about
didn't see that one.
the rail sniper.
Okay.
If that would be PVE or if PvP. Rail sniper to me
That was
sounds like
leaked.
yeah,
The
it sounds
big
like
one,
there's
yeah.
gonna be a rail sniper is just no drop,
Okay.
no bullet drop.
Yeah.
That's what I think of.
So, I think the playground mode is a good starting point for being able to have like larger style custom games,
Mhm.
because right now in competitive Fortnite, if if you're trying to play in like a tournament setting or something like that, it's basically a custom server. So there's like, if you wanted to have like a huge LAN or something and do Fortnite, there's not really a way that you could do it easily anyways.
Okay.
I mean, same thing with PUBG. So with the playground mode, you can at least have a small custom game. So it's at least a good starting point. What's the party limit for that? It's probably just 4.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like right now you can make a custom server with 100 people in it, but I could see that easily coming down the pike with how big competitive Fortnite's getting.
Well, even the competitive side of it, like the esports side where they're doing the tournaments and stuff, I hate how they're doing it. How you have to squad up together. So it'd be, 2 teams of 2, but they're together on a squad.
Right.
And you can steal kills and mess with the other player. And
yeah, it doesn't make sense.
I don't know why you don't just queue up duo.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it?
And even doing that is not ideal. You want to get to the point where you can just have a custom server.
Yeah, just brackets.
Like anything else, just LAN style. It's something that's, I guess, just not in enough demand. Like I was saying earlier, the developers just don't have the demand for it enough. Like, in my mind, any shooter game that comes out should have just local area, as many players as were hooked into the LAN it should support.
It's already a sandbox as it is, so why not give the players an option to, what if it was just all snipe drops, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or only certain...
Just Halo 2
Halo
style
battles.
custom games.
Yeah.
Should be a feature of pretty much everything.
I don't think battle royales are necessarily esports ready anyway. I don't know if you guys have ever watched the end of a PUBG game, but it's just snakes crawling around in grass.
Yeah.
Until they get so close to each other they have to find one another and fire on each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what, with esports, the settings are always very specific. Like, you can't do this, you can't do that, this is turned off. And certain things are not something that you can manipulate with settings. Like, you can't turn off, like, going prone. Like, it would just break the game.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you prevent the snake in the grass
that's just the
fallout at the end of the game?
That's just the whole, once the circle gets so small, everybody's just scared to...
That's just PUBG strategy.
Yeah.
Like, if you play a PUBG game, even if it's not like a, competitive mode, that's just what happens at the end of the game. People just start crawling around with their dicks in the grass.
Yeah. Long dicking.
They just start long dicking.
Just long dicking everywhere.
But yeah, I mean, I could see it getting to that point if it just goes back to developer support. If the developer cares about esports, then it'll happen.
Yeah.
But Fortnite's fun either way.
Actually, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be streaming Fortnite. I was talking about this last night. It's so congested. It's the most popular game on Twitch.
Yeah.
And unless somebody knows me and knows I'm streaming at that time, they're never going to find me.
Yeah.
Little guy's always at the bottom of the list, and then you're fighting against hundreds of thousands of other views.
Yeah, and not only are you fighting against lots of other people streaming it, but the top streamers who stream it are like way beyond any other big streamer.
I mean, there'll be, if say for instance Ninja's on, he's holding 50% or more of all the viewers,
right.
And there's other pros on playing. So it's 10 views with playing Fortnite that's really good.
So you're thinking getting in more of a niche would be better for your channel and just more fun in general?
Well, I'm not necessarily wanting to do one game in particular, because I feel like I get burnt out really quick, and then it's no longer enjoyable. It's more of a task.
Right.
You have to go stream this game that your viewers want to come watch.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're playing games.
Yeah.
You enjoy playing games.
Yeah.
That's why I started streaming in the first place. So, but I just, whatever I feel like playing, but I mean, sometimes if I want to stream Fortnite, I'll stream Fortnite. But an every night thing, I don't think I can do that anymore. It's so congested.
I get you.
Yeah, and whenever I think about just as being a friend of yours for a long time, I don't really put you in the category as just like a Fortnite player. Like, you obviously have a pretty broad taste way beyond Fortnite. We've been playing games for 20 years. It's not like Fortnite is our cornerstone by any means.
Yeah.
I get tired of playing Fortnite myself.
Yeah.
It's
oh,
I'm feeling it.
Dude, I'm so ready for something new. There's such a huge lineup coming out this fall.
There's just a void right now,
Yeah.
and I mean it's you're right. I mean, we got Red Dead coming down the pipe,
Battlefield 5,
Smash Bros, which Nintendo Direct is tomorrow. We're probably going to talk about that.
Yeah, I've heard everything coming out with battle royales, because that's what's popular. Even Smash. No, I'm kidding. that would make for a cool one. But Red Dead, I've heard rumors of a battle royale, and then
I don't see
Battlefield or-
Rockstar. I
Man.
don't. Just knowing Rockstar, I don't think they're gonna get into the battle royale hype. I just don't see that.
I remember when the
Sounds
Halo
good.
trailer released, and like at E3, and people were just immediately like, "This is gonna be a battle royale, isn't it?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Jesus!" It's like it's everywhere. You can't get away from it. So
Rockstar tends to perfectly do the opposite of everyone else.
Yeah.
I mean, they do what no one else is doing in the best way possible.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how else to say
That's
that.
why they stay around for so long.
I mean, there's nothing like
Each game.
there's nothing
So
like
many.
Red Dead and Grand Theft Auto. It's just, I mean, they're almost like a genre in a weird way. Like
Rockstar games.
Rockstar games are almost like a genre because it's all just you're basically getting a ridiculous. It's an interactive movie, and the multiplayer is just like, I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5 is still probably one of the top streamed games right now, especially the RPs
I can't
and the
believe
mods
that.
and stuff.
Like, it's been out that long.
On
how
Steam,
many systems?
yeah. Steam
I mean,
charts, it's like still
I remember-
top 10, right?
We were playing Grand Theft Auto 5 originally on the 360, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was years ago. And we were in those modded servers and stuff where right when it first came out, you had like the DNS mods, and then pretty much everybody got banned and had to start over.
Yeah, and you could exploit the. Remember, you could exploit the cars, and you could just keep selling them
Yeah,
over
we
and
had
over
some-
and just get all the money.
We had some times on Grand Theft Auto 5. We used to do the maze bank where you would take a helicopter or it was the cargo bob, and you could hook a car up to it, and we would take cars up on top of maze bank and warp and
the
like
sumo.
sumo.
Oh, I remember doing that.
The sumo.
And Cody was like laughing so hard, I thought he was just gonna pass out.
Yeah.
One wheel saved it.
Oh, we all got the boat. Remember, in the boat, and then you picked us up in the boat and took us to the top of that.
Yeah.
You get the speedboats.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
and I mean-
Rockstar, I want a Manhunt remake.
Yeah, that would be
Wow.
interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah, or a new one. What was the Warriors? That's another one. An old one that's.
They made
Highly
a lot
praised.
of, like, sometimes Rockstar's just like, fuck you, we're gonna make a game about ping pong.
Yeah, right. I was gonna bring up Rockstar table tennis.
Yeah.
We know you guys like Grand Theft Auto and everything, but we're thinking ping pong.
We've heard you. We understand what the people want. We want to do ping pong. We'll see you on the flip side.
That was a launch title for the 360.
But it did look. It looked damn good.
It was
It was
fun.
a launch title for the
Yeah.
360, and I had it day one, and it was so fun.
There was
Yeah.
Dead Rising, which looked kind of like a regular Xbox game,
Dude,
and
that
then
game
there
was
was
my shit. I played so much of
Rockstar
that game.
Ping Pong, which looked
Rockstar
amazing.
ping pong. It's just called table tennis. We're laughing at it because but it was called table tennis. Yeah, Rockstar has had a lot of oddities. Now, I mean, you don't really think about them like when you just think about Rockstar, but they kind of do their own thing for sure.
I mean, when's the next time like a Midnight's coming out? You know, their racing game.
Midnight Club, dude, I can't
Midnight
wait.
Club.
I love Midnight Club.
Oh, Midnight Club 3 was
I played
spectacular.
an ungodly amount of that game
Yeah.
on the PS2.
Which one
So-
was it? The Los Angeles. Was
They
that
have
Street
great
Soundtrack?
soundtracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the dub Midnight Club Los Angeles, I think, is a separate
remember
game.
Dub
But then
Edition.
there
The
was
Dub
the dub
Edition.
edition was just the one with all the DLC cars in one disc.
Yeah, Los Angeles. I think it was Los Angeles. So I was really into that game,
Mhm.
and I had the #1 downloaded paint job for. I had a full blown Pornhub vinyl wrapped in the car, and it got #1 ranked in the world for like a week or something. The most downloaded skin.
That's so sick.
I mean, who doesn't want the Pornhub logo on the side of their McLaren?
You're like drifting away from the police. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, it's good stuff. Great
Yeah,
games.
Midnight Club always had awesome soundtracks too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember actually sitting around listening to the Midnight Club 3 soundtrack.
Yeah, it was good. They had a lot of like old school like alt rock and like rap music that are like, what the heck is
Like
this?
random rappers that
Yeah.
you never hear anywhere else. Well, all rock. I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5 in-car radio stations are so good.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Vice
so good.
City's on
I wish
top
they
of
would have
it.
kept
That's just-
updating on that.
And ASAP Rocky had like an exclusive song for that. A lot of
Yeah.
people did. I mean, like his song literally came out in the game. You know,
Yeah,
he
it's
didn't
really
drop
cool.
it on any digital music outlets. It came out in the game.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole nother level. Like
Yeah.
nobody's doing that but Rockstar.
It's like because Rockstar gave Flying Lotus an entire radio station in I think it was Grand Theft Auto 5, right? Flylo.
Yeah.
So like the whole thought is like he's like a totally curated list. Like that's cool. Like it's cool how much freedom they give people to work on stuff. I think
there was like
neat.
a couple albums worth of fully original music in that game.
Yeah. I mean, it's just insane how much like love and attention goes in really all the Rockstar games. I mean, you can't really.
The amount of detail is mind-numbing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
super cool.
Especially now with the new titles coming out. Can you imagine on the new systems that they're designing them for? Because I mean, they went to the next gen with Grand Theft Auto 5. Why wouldn't they do that with Red Dead 2?
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, I think it will. I mean, Red Dead's gonna just get me torqued.
Yeah.
I can't
That's it. The free roam. That's why I don't think there will be a battle royale because their big modes are their free roam.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just the free play, just the sandbox, and
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the multiplayer in Red Dead 1 was fun. I mean, a lot of it gets overlooked a little bit. It was awesome. Yeah, like I remember we used to squad up on that all the time. It was they had like it was sort of like a castle siege mode where there was
the
like
hideouts.
A fort. Yeah, hideouts. Yeah, and it was great. So I know like every time we speculate on a big Rockstar game, there's just something that we weren't anticipating at all. That's like the best part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
like how long did people search for the when GTA 5 first came out and they were piecing together the clues of like the UFO? Remember that scavenger hunt for like a month or two?
Yeah.
That was just nonstop until they figured out that it's not really possible. I don't even know the update on that. They might have found it and started flying it.
yeah, I know there was like several pieces scattered about, but I don't really know whatever came about from it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably nothing. That's Rockstar's type.
Rockstar can create hype off of something that's not even like a big part of the game. Like they sent out some promotional materials today to reviewers and journalists. I think it was like a coffee cup.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that. Sticker.
Something else like that.
T-shirt, sticker.
T-shirt, and they're just master marketers.
Yeah, they really, really are.
Bethesda as well. Bethesda can break the internet with just like one little snippet of a new game.
And we've got something with Bethesda today. We can move on into that. That's a good segue actually, because Fallout 76. They announced today it is not coming out on Steam.
Yeah.
So that's a weird one.
Yeah, it's launching on. I don't think another game has done this on their platform, except for, I mean, if you want to count, ESO had its own launcher, but I mean that's nothing. I mean,
but that's not even really Bethesda.
Kind of like how Blizzard does with their Battle.net.
Battle.net,
Right.
and that's the thing is like we're starting to get kind of segmented on like a lot of these big publishers is like moving away because Activision acquired Blizzard, so now Destiny and Call of Duty are on the Battle.net launcher, so it's crazy.
See, I've never even really thought twice about launching Warcraft from Battle.net because it's Warcraft, like it's kind of in its own league.
Yeah,
but even a game as big as Fallout, I feel like it's a weird move to not launch it on Steam. I like what do you think the motivation is behind it?
Money, right? So like that's what I'm thinking, but like it's weird to me because Steam is still the biggest like gaming platform on PC. It doesn't make sense to me because like that's where the majority of your fan base are, and I've seen like quite a few people say, "Oh, I'm not buying this game now." Whether or not that comes to fruition, I guess we'll see. But it is interesting because like people don't love the move now. At least that I've noticed. Like people definitely don't seem super happy.
I mean, it doesn't really change the cost of the game, does it?
It doesn't. But I mean, it's one of those things where I guess I don't know if it's like server costs or like if there's something to do with like how they have to host it.
Yeah.
Well, I was also thinking like Fallout 76 is the first online one.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's these, like Epic, they have their own launcher for Fortnite, and they've got the mod the mod protection.
Right.
So it could be something integrated with that Steam's
like
not
a
big
DRM.
enough.
Yeah. A lot of MMOs aren't hosted on Steam.
Yeah. Just for that reason, I guess.
Not calling Fallout 76 an MMO. I'm just saying a lot of like persistent world games.
Final Fantasies didn't they have their own launcher?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Square Enix has their own launchers for 14.
And then, of course, World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
I mean, it's news for some reason. From my perspective, it's like a super mild inconvenience. I have to click on one icon instead of clicking on... I mean, as far as like my experience with it,
Yeah.
I'm gonna like click here instead of here. It's like I don't. It doesn't bother me at all.
I really would like to know why they did that though.
Yeah.
Why even make that decision?
The only like disadvantage to not having it in Steam is like if you've got a big library in Steam and you've got your friends in there and your play hours and all that stuff and you can but
Can't you still make that custom?
Yeah, and you can share everything in Discord. Like, if you're playing something, you can show what game you're playing in Discord, and it's like PCs do not have a consistent ecosystem. It's a PC. It's not like a self-contained thing like an Xbox or a PlayStation 4 where it's like all this is here. You got your friends list, your games, and everything.
Marketplace.
You're on a device where you could switch over to your other screen and like create a video in Adobe or whatever. It's like it has. For people to get all fucking torqued out about it not having like a persistent ecosystem, like you should just get a Steam machine or an Xbox or something because that's just not the way PCs work.
Those might be the people they might have the Steam machine.
They might
be
have
the ones
bought
pissed off.
all like 600 people who bought a Steam machine. I'm pissed.
I bought a Steam machine to play Fallout.
Fucking
Todd Howard.
Why'd you do this to me, Tom?
Are those things even worth the price? I really don't even know the specs that go in them anymore. I know
It's like
They
Alienware.
it's an Alienware
It's Alienware.
pre-built.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about just Steam OS all the time. You
might
At
as
least on
well-
desktop, you can go to something else.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, if you want to use a Steam machine, you might as well get like a mid-tier Alienware computer and install some unusable operating system on it.
Yeah.
What's the other thing that Steam has? that you link it up and you can play on
The Steam Link?
Steam, is that what it is? Steam
Yeah,
Link?
it's just called Steam Link.
And it was just on sale for like $10 during their
What's
summer
that?
sale.
What does that do?
Turns
so
your...
you can-
Oh, yeah, you can go ahead, yeah.
So you can play, your Steam games like on a regular TV in another room.
Yeah,
Just-
see, that's fine. That's just like a peripheral for the computer you already have. But a Steam machine is basically just a limited version of a computer.
Yeah. It will be interesting to see.
I guess you could say the same thing about consoles, though.
Touche. And that's, I
So
think,
it's like
yeah. And it's interesting because, like you say, it is, in honesty, just a minor inconvenience. But I don't know if it sets a precedence, but it almost kind of does. Because, obviously people have done launchers before, but I feel like they almost came out the gate that way. Like, Blizzard games I never expected to be on Steam. But,
Right.
Bethesda games have been on Steam.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things where...
Fallout 4 is on Steam.
Yeah, exactly. And, like New Vegas, like I play all the time, just load it up through Steam easy. But it's one of those things where...
I don't even like Steam that much. It's just like... It's not...
It's what's there.
It's not a good system. It's just what we have.
Yeah.
I like having
We're all
Fallout
kinda used
on,
to it, I think.
on PC. Fallout
Yeah.
just plays well on PC. I enjoy New Vegas.
It's pretty
through
good.
Steam. Like,
Yeah,
Pretty good.
I just don't know that
Other
Steam
than
is an excellent platform.
No. I mean...
It's not. It's just a gray interface.
it's boring. Like,
And
you've been looking at the same thing.
It doesn't feel like it has any like community. And like the
It's
community
trying
pages
to,
on
yeah.
there are just awful like troll pages. Like you might as well like load up 4chan, whatever.
It's two people. It's dudes going, I hate everything, and dudes going like, have you seen this in this game before? And other dudes saying, I hate it.
It's Valve, which is like the memeiest company on the planet.
Yeah,
Like-
always will be.
Like, it's funny now that they're known for like being like a PC gaming behemoth when it's like they were the Half-Life guys.
Yeah.
They
And
have a new game coming out. I heard about that today. What's it called though? Did you hear about that?
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
actually look it up.
Yeah, Valve is the most memed gaming company ever.
Gabe in particular.
Yeah,
Like
he's-
everybody.
Well, he's like the
That's
the
an
face of it.
artifact.
Dude, he's the man.
It's just a card game, but it's their
Artifact?
first new game.
Oh, they talked about that E3 from what I remember, but I turned my brain off when I saw it was a card game.
But
It's how like you turn your brain off when you saw the Elder Scrolls mobile game.
I was like, oh, yes, thank you. I just stopped listening.
Oh, dude, that's...
It's just
No.
like Hearthstone with WoW, but this is with Dota.
It's like Hearthstone, but with guns.
Yeah.
This is just Dota characters instead of WoW characters.
How many times can we do that?
A lot. Enough.
Yeah,
Do we
but
not have
Elder Scrolls
enough
has
of
the
those?
Legends.
Do you wanna
right? And
test them?
Fable has one.
Oh,
right?
do they?
I think so.
They have the brew pub game. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm just talking about these
There's
card
a-
games.
I have
that just
absolutely
switch.
no reason to play Hearthstone with Magic the Gathering Arena out now.
Oh, the beta just came out like a couple weeks ago. We were talking about.
There's like, why would I ever play Hearthstone again?
See, I've never played Magic ever.
See,
I've only played Hearthstone. I've
Hearthstone
never been
is
that-
just like
yeah.
stripped down Magic with like a cool UI. So MTG Arena is cool UI with actual Magic.
I want to play. I need to try that game out because
I want someone. I want one of you to defend Hearthstone.
Cody's
I'm
played
not
it the
huge-
most out of all
I
of us.
mean, I got into it seriously for maybe, I guess a season
But you
or
haven't
two,
played Magic, right?
But I have not
Okay.
played Magic.
So I want someone to like tell me it's better than Magic.
I can't because I don't know. It's just the UI. I think is the big. It's just so simple.
It's super
Yeah.
user friendly.
It's so
Yeah.
easy to get into. I
So
think
maybe
that's
I
what
just
makes
shouldn't
it.
even be comparing it, is what you're saying.
I think.
If it's
Well,
so stripped down,
Yeah.
I
Well,
can tell.
so like in two,
It's just
like,
maybe just a different game.
yeah, because I mean, you can play Hearthstone on your phone. I highly doubt it's that usable that you could play Magic the Gathering
No.
easily on your phone.
No,
You
you
think just
can't.
pull out and have a game of Hearthstone.
Yeah.
While you're sitting there.
Like 12
Yeah.
minutes and call it a day. You're
Yeah.
like, let's. I'm on my flight.
And
now.
like
I'll
I
see
have
you
fun
later.
playing Hearthstone. It's not like I don't like it, but it's like if I'm sitting in front of a desktop computer, I'm never gonna pull up Hearthstone.
It's just I get you there.
I can play Magic.
How
yeah.
would I do this when Magic is right in front of me?
Yeah.
But do you also like the feel? You want to feel the cards. And I mean, like.
Well, I
when it
like to
comes
play
just
paper
having-
Magic, but I'm talking about like Magic the Gathering Arena, like the.
Oh, you're
online.
talking about
Yeah.
the online.
He
Yeah.
still likes to go
Online
and get
period.
sweady.
Yeah, I like to wear the old Yu-Gi-Oh
What'd you say?
armbands.
Yeah,
The one with the card deck.
Oh,
and
no,
all.
I wear
Dude.
that. I wear that while I'm playing online.
Trap card down.
No, there was
You
a video today of Yu-Gi-Oh, the Yu-Gi-Oh Duelist game.
Yeah.
And they had a big tournament, and they did everything with AR, with the augmented reality
way.
tables.
No, wow.
So the duelists are.
I can.
I'm just gonna laugh at it because fuck it, it's funny. The guys are cosplaying.
Yeah.
And the table has these huge AR graphics on it, so when they like play something, it like puts this huge. Can we pull it up?
That's so sick.
I need to see this.
Layer it for
Are
the
they like
streamer.
screaming and stuff too? Like when they summon it, they
So
summon
I
it
saw a
on-
GIF of it, but I would be. I'm
What's
sure
the
there's a
best thing
video.
to tap in?
Yu-Gi-Oh gaming AR.
Yeah, just look up
Yu-Gi-Oh
like.
artifact.
That sounds good.
Hold on, I'll
No,
find
that's
it.
not it.
Oh, that's close though. I want the card.
AR alpha demo for HoloLens.
Okay, here, I'll link you the article.
What we making with?
FB.
Dude, Cody, I want some Google Glass so I can try that out.
I want to do it on a HoloLens and just go to another fucking dimension.
What is the word on that? Are they gonna give the public anything on that anymore, other than if you're lucky enough to come there and try it out yourself?
You mean Google Glass or
No,
The
the
HoloLens.
Which one is the HoloLens?
So,
It's the Microsoft one where like it's stuff's in like if you put it
It's
on.
AR.
so I was so
Yeah.
excited
Oh,
about the
okay.
HoloLens when I saw the Minecraft demo. That's been, what, 2 E3s ago now?
that was when
I
AR
feel
was
like it
big,
a
right?
while ago. That's what I seen.
And for
was
some-
Minecraft.
I think Microsoft is skeptical about the demand for it, just because of the way Oculus has went on, and like Oculus and PSVR, they kind of just saw the way that played out, and I feel like they've taken it back after that. And it's not that Oculus and PSVR aren't good, because yeah, there it is. I mean, he's just fucking casting them.
You free. You've activated my
Look at him
card.
guarding it.
Look at that god right there. Dude, he is in the zone. That is
Slayer.
sick, though. You can't deny
It is-
That's
I'll be
awesome.
honest. I would play
Don't
that.
And I'm not,
That's
I'm not
awesome.
making,
I would
I'm
play
not
so
laughing
hard.
at them. It's just crazy. It's so like over the top that it's funny. It's like
There's
that's
no way
what,
that
so
won't
that's
be
what
fun.
they see. That's
We
what
got
the crowd
this
sees.
kind
It's
of
that big.
that's what the crowd
technology.
sees.
Oh my
Dude.
god.
What a freaking time to be
Yeah,
alive.
this kind of technology, and we're using it for Yu-Gi-Oh.
They're lit. They're so lit. That's the first thing on their mind is like, yeah, we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh with this sure.
Yeah, I mean,
We played it all our lives.
They use this like one other time for Tupac, and then it's straight to Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
yeah.
The natural progression.
That is the one that makes me laugh right here. He's just,
Yeah.
he's just going off.
And it's full cosplay too.
Full cosplay, yeah.
Yeah, they're screaming.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think it'd be funny to have a clip of someone from like, you know, the 1930s talking about like, in the future we'll have flying cars.
Yeah, how far advanced we
It's
be.
just
And then it's just this.
It's like school. Every child will have a holographic learning companion for education. That's just we're just casting you.
Yeah, we're just lit cosplay.
We're just cosplay Blue Eyes White Dragon.
The world's going to shit, but there's a Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2018.
Priorities.
Been around for... How long has Yu-Gi-Oh! Been around for?
God.
34
right?
years?
90s, I
It's
think.
like
Yeah.
since the dawn of man.
Yeah. It's
My
ancient.
great-grandfather, I've got his cards up in my room.
Well, they're ancient. Older
I
than
mean-
time.
If you like Yu-Gi-Oh, it's fun. I mean, it's a fun game, and I'm a huge Magic player, so I'm not gonna be like you freaking nerd. play Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I'm
Yeah.
like a big Magic player. It's just that spectacle was I found comical.
I'd love
That-
to be a part of it.
Part of me is like, it's very funny, like just the way it's presented, but the idea of it is super freaking cool. Like that sounds so fun, like games that can do that. That I've always
Yeah.
thought AR was the easiest way to move forward.
The
like,
HoloLens
Mhm.
was like a whole new level because it was pass through AR. It was
Yeah.
like it wasn't like an Oculus where you're in there and
Yeah.
that's all you see.
Yeah,
When you're wearing a HoloLens, you see the room around
Yeah.
you,
yeah,
and you
It's-
just
everything's
project
interactive.
things onto
Yeah.
it. And you know the way they demoed it, it was like you're in your kitchen, whatever. Say you don't have a TV in the kitchen, or you're just doing something. You can basically augment a TV onto the wall and watch Netflix.
yeah.
And like no one else is gonna see it, obviously, but you're seeing it through your HoloLens, and you can just stick in it, and it's persistent.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want it there, and I look away from it, it stays over there.
That's
it
super
doesn't
cool.
move with my lens.
That's super cool. That to me is so much more compelling right now than VR.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that exists. It's
Yeah.
not
That
conceptual.
should be the next. That should be what they're driving towards instead of trying to
Yeah.
sell this VR.
Right.
We're not there
Yeah.
yet. Like VR won't work until we have like some sort of locomotion, like a treadmill, like those omnidirectional treadmills. It doesn't work. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about the HoloLens is I feel like it circumvents a lot of that.
Absolutely, I'm right
Yeah.
there with you.
Because you're not inside a fucking goggles.
It's your
you
room.
know, you've got it right there. And it's
Yeah.
like, so E3 demos are always like, you got to take with like multiple grains of salt.
Right.
Like E3 demos are just like, you know, a lot of them are staged and they run perfectly and all this.
Ubisoft.
So everyone,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah,
Yes,
the
sir.
Division.
The
So
Division.
everyone
Watch
was
Dogs.
real skeptical when they saw them demo that, and
Mm-hmm.
they were like, "There's no way it actually works this way." Blah blah blah. So they started sending out the dev kits, and people started reviewing them, and pretty much every major game journalist was like, "Holy shit!" You know,
It's
like
it.
it actually, this is like real.
Yeah.
And then it's gone. And so there was only select Microsoft stores that got that got those kits. It wasn't a dev kit. It was like a kiosk, I guess.
Yeah.
And one of them was the one in Times Square in Manhattan. And I went there trying to demo it. They only did it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I was in New York City, and of all the stuff to be doing in New York City, we were like, we're going to go to the Microsoft store and demo the HoloLens. So I was with Shane, who you guys know, of course, and Zach Morris. And we went, like the time that was scheduled, I think it was a Thursday. You could only demo it between like 6 and 8 on a Thursday. We showed up to the Microsoft store, and I was like, hey, we want to demo the HoloLens. And the guy in the store was almost like, who sent you? Or, you know, he was almost like, he's like, who we've been talking to? And he's like, we got some rogue.
He's like,
He's like, yeah, and we were
One
like,
goddamn
okay,
second.
like, maybe this isn't like as public as we thought it was. But he's like, all right, I'll see what I can do. So the guy walks off, and we're like, holy shit, we're gonna get the demo of HoloLens.
Yeah.
And he's gone for like a while. He comes back and he says, hey, we're not doing our HoloLens demos today. The network in that room is down, and the HoloLens has to run on like a perfect wireless network for the demos to run, and we can't do it. So never got to demo the HoloLens.
That sucks.
But yeah, I mean, the whole thing is just like, why? I mean, I think it's awesome. If it came out tomorrow, I would buy one.
I wonder what that means. Perfect wireless network. Is that like is it like fiber? Or?
It's perfect. I don't know.
I don't know. And I ran through that a bunch of times. I was
Are we
like,
not there yet?
And he didn't blame it on the hardware at all. He said it was something with the network. Yeah. So I think what it is Microsoft doesn't want to demo anything that's in a developer condition without perfect conditions.
Okay.
So, like, I honestly think it was just the Wi-Fi at the Microsoft store was shitty.
Wi-Fi down?
It was that simple. And they were like, you know, we're not demoing this thing. They were only demoing it like Oklahoma City, Los Angeles, Seattle, Tokyo, New York City.
That sucks.
5 stores worldwide. They couldn't upgrade the internet for those 5 stores.
Oh, dude. The internet machine broke at all of them collectively.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about Bethesda, but we kind of skipped past it a little bit. What did you guys see about the where the Fallout 76 beta will include the entire game?
That's what I've been told. Like, I read that if you like have a save in the beta, it'll totally transfer.
Over, yeah.
That's super cool.
So
yes, that is genius.
Yeah. So when you're playing the beta, there's no walls. It's just a shorter length. I mean, it's not even. You just play the full game for a shorter amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Until it just. I guess the whole point is it's ready. They're just bug testing till the full release.
Stress test.
I suppose
I
so.
hope
Yeah.
more people take cues from that because why not? I mean, it'll make people want to buy the game because they put time in that will carry over to the full game.
It's the double-edged sword too of like if your game's not ready, better not. But I mean, if you already know like your game's ready to go, why not just stress test it? Test the servers, like as long as the game itself is great. So, which I assume 76 is going to be.
That's how a lot of betas used to do, like Call of Duty betas, stuff like that, where you would rank up, you'd get like level 40 before the beta's over, and then reset day one.
Yeah.
Lose everything, have to start over.
That's such a shame. It's so cool that they're like taking note and like letting you actually continue from that.
Yeah.
So you have to buy to get into the beta, right? So you have to purchase the game.
It's a pre-order type deal, yeah.
Okay.
But just the pre-order for any edition gets you a beta key for whenever.
Cool.
It comes out. Like there's no release date yet.
Yeah, it's November.
And no, for the beta.
Oh, the beta's October.
October.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
that's the 1/3. Pretty sure that's what it said. I was reading it today.
So what are the collector's editions looking like? What do we get?
You haven't seen that?
I've seen it, but I don't remember like the differences in each one.
Awesome.
Oh, you'll remember.
Show them the one you're getting.
Put it on the video.
The one with the Just pull it up.
Alright, so the Power Armor Edition comes with a wearable Power Armor helmet. And then if you've got the other one too, you got the Pet Boy on.
Yeah.
Perfect time for Halloween too.
All you're missing is a jumpsuit.
How big is the helmet? Like cat size?
Like, no, it's wearable. Human wearable.
That's
it says it right here.
The
like
lamp
wearable
even
T51. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got the headlamp that works.
What if I got a big ass head?
And then of course they did the cool little map with the collectible figures.
Oh, that's cool. So it tells you where they are, or?
I think. What did he say during E3, Todd? He said that he's just always wanted that, so he decided for this game's collector's edition he's just going to make it.
I think so.
He just wanted little figures like that.
Treasure map.
Like something like the army men used to come in.
That actually, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with, like, obviously if you have to travel and get it anyway, like, you may as well see where they are.
But of course this was a pain in the ass to get.
Yeah.
And because of scalpers. I mean, it was...
So you already got that one locked down.
Yeah, had to buy that bitch.
Dude.
And
That would be sick.
It came up, like, Amazon would not send me the notifications. I was getting the emails, but wasn't getting the notifications that it was back in stock. And it was already getting scalped on eBay for like $350 to $400.
Oh, that sucks.
So I finally found it. One Best Buy, one retailer online had it, and Best Buy, and then they were sold out like 5 minutes afterwards.
God bless Mr. Buy and his whole company.
That's his name, right?
Yeah. Mr. Best Buy.
And I want this one I want this one.
I have mixed feelings about Rage 2. I hope it's good.
I want to see this.
I never played the first one.
I didn't play it a whole lot, but I mean, I love id. I love the new Doom. So
I just heard the soundtrack for that today because I never played that game, and I always heard that the single player was good. And I heard
Doom?
the soundtrack for that
Dude,
game.
it's fucking rad.
It is amazing.
It's
That's
so
one of the best
good.
soundtracks I've ever heard for a game in my
Dude.
life. Like, I would just sit there and listen to that music
Mick
Yeah.
Gordon,
all day.
the guy who did that soundtrack, also did the Xbox One. I think it was free to play, but you like bought characters. But the Killer Instincts game when that
Yeah.
came out, he did the entire soundtrack to that too, and it's pretty good. It's not as good as Doom, but it's
Right.
good. So
Yeah.
worth a look.
They almost sold me on the whole collector's edition of Rage 2 just because of like the TV commercial they did for the talking head, like right here.
Yeah,
It's like the old talking fish,
yeah.
but they did like an old school 90s as seen on TV commercial.
Mhm.
Late
That
night,
almost-
late night.
Yeah,
You know.
that almost sold me right there on it.
I have hopes for that game. They're not high, but I have hopes.
Yeah, I had hopes for the first one too.
And we remember that one.
It was.
They brought freaking Andrew WK out.
Dude, I knew, and, like, they were watching, remember, I was, like, pretty torqued that
We
they
were
Andrew out.
like-
I was like, oh, fuck.
The only thing that was bad about it is there was like only 3 like solid people in the crowd that were just going off. Like
Yeah.
that just made their night, and everybody else was kind of just like.
Well,
Yeah, well, it was
just
like
happening.
they were just having a rager at like a press conference with a bunch of like gaming journalists. They're all just like, oh.
And he's up there
Who's
going
this?
off.
Yeah.
I think this is called a rock concert.
What was it? Rage 2? The conference, or I wouldn't even say the conference, just the showing of it. The 2 guys on stage where the one guy didn't know good English, and so they just kind of stood there and just.
There was a crazy awkward moment during that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just
I
kinda
think
just-
one of them was supposed to introduce I don't know what the dynamic was supposed to be, but I feel like one person was like, you're supposed to go, and the other's like, I'm here.
I remember that.
Probably
It
pull up a
was- it was
supercut
really-
and,
It was really awkward.
I feel like Chromecat's probably got a video.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chromecat's probably got
I
it.
love him, dude. Like, all the new games come out and they get praised,
Dude.
and then he's like, the old one's better.
Dude, ever since the No Man's Sky video,
Did you just
religiously.
Google E3
Well, his
cat?
name's Chrome Cat.
Yeah.
A3 Cat.
Let's go ahead and check in on the old E3 cat.
This is him, right? Chrome Cat?
Yeah.
There's one on like Gaming Bat. Too,
I
or
love the
something.
one of Ubisoft downgrades.
Oh.
Yeah, see that GTA 4 is better than GTA 5. Oh yeah, this right here.
Full screen that baby.
This one right here is all you need to see. What we were just talking about.
Oh, this ad.
I'm not sure.
I love this ad, Cody.
You've never seen his videos?
Not many of them.
They're worth watching, man. They're so funny.
YouTube's doing 2 ads
You just
now.
got double torqued.
Dude.
Alright.
2 ads. What?
Now you getting.
To amaze on day one and continuously
This is what we were
improve
just
over the
talking about.
generation ahead.
Actual gameplay.
Yes. This is an Xbox
Did
One.
you see that pop in? You pay good money for that.
Xbox One running this game right
Oh,
now.
my, this is the truth, though. This is
And
the
then you're
truth
dead.
about
Like
this
if
game.
you get stuck in something.
This
Shane's
is what
died many
Shane
times
sees.
to a
Yeah, that's
couch.
how he
It
tells
looks-
us all the guns.
They're
Where they're at.
They look like they're made out of ice cream.
It's like PS2, like PS1 building. Like Silent Hill.
Ice cream. It just looks like indistinguishable blobs of shit.
Or you gotta get
And the
solid
gas
tank.
can is just perfect 4K.
Dude, that's fuck.
That right
off the
there.
floor. I've seen this before.
This little like clip right here where he's if I can get back to it. Oh my! I hate when YouTube does this. Okay, so here, whenever he's in the house and he's kind of like, see how you can see it's lighting up, and then when he turns, he can see something else. This is how Shane's is all the time. So we'll be landing, and he'll say, "Okay, there's an AK-47 in the bedroom, top floor."
Yeah.
And
Like,
sure,
like at the hospital, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he'll
He's
be like
just in the
M16
mainframe.
top floor. Yeah.
He's
That's how we know where to go.
he's calling out as we're landing.
Because he plays it on the original one. The original.
The X isn't as bad, and then the S is,
These guys are just
Yes,
getting a
okay.
squat off.
Oh yeah, this is the
He punched
real
that dude in the
intense-
ass, and then he ran away.
This is
Look at
the
that.
This is the future of gaming.
this is the intense gameplay right here.
I'm just asking, do you think it's possible that Battlegrounds would run on a Switch? I don't know. Like, technically, I honestly don't know. I mean, I've seen that Doom run on a Switch, so, I have to believe it's possible, but it's not something.
It's a zero.
Battlegrounds could run on a 64.
I don't know. Honestly,
If
don't
they
know.
kept the graphics, I'm not sure. If
I'm
it could
not
run
sure.
It's so funny that we went like back to this.
Yeah.
Like 4 or 5 years ago, Grand Theft Auto 5 comes out, and we're like, "This is like the pinnacle." Just imagine what will happen in 2018. And it's just like a fucking naked guy lagging through a wall with PS1 graphics.
This is the only game where I think I've seen if you try to pick up, if there's 3 different things of ammo and you try to spam pick it up, it's just
He won't do it. Yeah, you have to do it one
you
at a
have
time.
to wait until he grabs every piece of ammo, or he's just stuck like this.
Yeah, he's just DJing.
Like, this is like one of the most
This
popular
is peak
games
gaming
out
now.
right
This is 2018. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like players like myself who have like 200 hours in the game on PC are going to have an advantage on Xbox?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because I think you have an
that's
advantage in,
Destiny
sort of
Gary.
knowing how the map works and everything like that. But I think
A boat turning.
they're going to go in pretty quick and yeah.
The release night of this game, the developers were just like, they fucking bought it.
Yeah, I can't believe they bought it.
Damn, they didn't look at shit.
It's
Oh,
a
they
good thing we
bought
didn't
an
do a beta.
Xbox.
Well, this is why they can get away with it, because it's still early access.
Well, this got QA'd by Microsoft, and they were like, "This is fun."
They're selling fucking consoles bundled with, like, that's a console seller.
Oh, it is.
Yes.
It's a bundle box.
Yes,
I remember
this
that.
is a
Like,
console seller.
An early
So,
access
would you
game
agree?
is bundled.
An early access PS1 game.
If we had something like this 10 years ago, it would be outrage. Like, if someone sold you this game on an Xbox, it would be absolute
Suicide.
outrage.
Yeah.
It's fine now because it's early access, though.
And you can patch it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it's
every
like-
game.
15 years ago, you bought a game on a disc, and that was it.
That's what you got.
That's what I
If
love.
it was screwed,
Yeah.
maybe another,
So,
another release.
the
at some
developers
point.
didn't
Yeah.
have the opportunity to do stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's just a promise it's like a campaign promise almost.
It's like a Kickstarter without.
We have to put like this weird political trust into digital games.
Yeah.
It's like a politician. It's just like hope that it doesn't suck after a while.
Mm-hmm. You have to be fine when you buy a game anymore that like you're okay with how it sits, because the promise of a game, as we've seen, the
Unless the developer has integrity.
well for sure. And then you look at like, because the perfect example being like CD Projekt Red, they haven't made a game.
That's what I was
willing to
just
buy.
telling him
I was
about.
just
Right?
about to
Yeah.
say that. Like
Yeah.
someone like that would never
No.
put their name on something like in that condition.
Yeah.
Like The Witcher 3, just the standard edition came with that pendant that's on that keychain there, the thank you card, a soundtrack, stickers.
The
Yeah.
standard edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing special about it.
Yeah.
Just day one.
It's
Standard edition.
that game is so freaking good.
And with the name they have now, there's no way they can do that because they're held up to that standard now.
Yeah.
So
They're-
not
They
gonna-
wouldn't have done
they
it back
wouldn't.
then anyway.
That's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like they're kind of like in stone for being that company.
They're
It's like that
they're
out
the
there.
Polish rock star at a point.
Yeah.
Like they're people who like it's not that they can do no wrong, but it's like they're consistently good. And like it's you obviously like reward that. What was it? Like The Witcher 3 like in its first week sold $61 million worth or something like that. Like
It was ridiculous.
yeah.
Wasn't the DLCs very successful? Like they were their
Oh,
own
yeah.
huge segments of the game.
And
that
there were huge
Yeah.
chunks too, like multiple dozens of hours that add to the game, which is awesome. Really,
Yeah.
really can't say a lot of bad things.
So, I want to segue into Super Smash Bros. At Nintendo Direct by watching a Crowcat supercut of Nintendo Direct. There has to be one, right?
There might be. I actually don't know.
Just search this up. There's the Nintendo Switch's painful launch.
That would be good if we don't have anything else.
Nice starting point.
Just anything with a business type on stage will suffice.
Anyone with a suit or someone on a stage.
Wait, which one was this one on the stage? Hang on.
It's probably E3.
Oh, that was Minecon. That's another good one
Oh,
right there to
man.
talk about. Is ethics, Lawbreakers.
Dude,
Oh
I
my
think
God.
didn't the studio that created Lawbreakers like
Let's take a
just
look.
close?
Wasn't it Epic had it, didn't it?
Well, so Cliff Bleszinski split off Epic and made Boss Key. That's the name of the studio.
Right, yeah.
And then Boss Key, they like worked on Lawbreakers for a while. They're like, this is the big thing, but Overwatch existed, so all of 8 people bought it. And then you look at they said, hey, we're not going to put any more money in this. And then a month later said, we just made a battle royale. They made Radical Heights.
Yeah.
So, and then like a month later, they're like, shit, we're out of cash, by the way. We're out. So, craziness. But anyway, sorry.
Look at how the game looks on screen. This is the new world of Zelda.
Speaking of, I found out the other day my Switch actually has a pressure crack, and that's like,
oh god,
that's a thing that's happening.
That sucks. Is that in-game audio?
Fucking loud. Dude, what's happening?
His Switch is frying.
This is utter demonic. What is that over there? What is that? I don't feel well. Oh, Jesus.
Wrecked.
Yeah.
Okay, get screwed.
You should have licked it before.
Dude, I would throw that thing. I was like, it's about to go. Like, it's about to blow.
Dude, have you guys licked a Nintendo cart?
Oh man, that was the thing, right, when it first came out.
Yeah.
I did it.
Okay, let's play with the buttons. Let's play with the thingy.
So evidently they coated all of the cartridges with
Is this the wrong side?
some kind of compound that makes it taste horrible.
Yeah.
So it's very
Because they're so small to prevent children and animals from eating them.
It does not taste good.
And when people found out about that, they just started licking them and putting it on YouTube.
Lick it.
Lick. I licked it, Switch.
Dude, my Switch is bitter.
I gave Breath of the Wild a good old lick down. And it tasted like shit. Yeah.
The game's good, but I give it a lick score of 2 out of 10. Not good.
Let me see if I can find the Crow Cat cut of E3, because we're gonna talk about Direct here.
I'm interested in Direct for sure.
I am Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Do you have a Switch, Cody?
No, I do not.
You don't. You played one though, right? So.
Yeah, I've played on Brandon's a couple of times. They're awesome. I didn't know that the problems were.
I don't know how widespread those were. I didn't buy one until like a year later. I bought mine like. What the heck's wrong with you, Cody? I bought mine like right after Super Mario Odyssey came out, which wasn't a year. It was like 6 months.
Yeah.
But I like mine a lot. I've had nothing but good things to say about it.
What's your favorite game?
Dude, I can't stop playing Mario Tennis to save my life. That game,
you need to get
dude,
that. We had so much fun playing it on 64 the other day.
You're welcome to try it on my Switch if you want to try it out. It's so freaking fun.
Just the titles of these Crow Cat things make me laugh.
The games, whatever the Spike TV one is, where Jeff Keighley's like "Welcome to Hell" on the front and his eyes are like half closed. Is that Super Smash?
But anyways, Nintendo Direct is tomorrow.
Sounds like Super Smash is on the docket.
I mean, it will be, yeah.
It is.
It may just be like Super Smash the show.
The extravaganza. So, for those who don't know, Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, it's basically their own little self-contained press conference slash...
Like BlizzCon, but just Nintendo.
It's less of a convention, though. I mean, it is...
It happens a lot more, though. Right?
Yeah. It's not like a yearly thing. Like, they kind of just do them when they have some shit to drop.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, oh, it's time for Nintendo Direct. So it's got some convention aspects to it. Like, there's, like, you know, some meetups and stuff, but it's basically just like it's basically a press release. It's basically a big, fancy press release.
Okay.
So, it's going to be tomorrow at 10 a.m. They are, which, you know, if you're on the audio version, tomorrow is going to be August the 8th.
Yeah.
At 10 Eastern. So, it's basically going to be old Fils-Aimé.
Ooh.
And the boys.
Oh, the boys, you say.
Telling us about Nintendo. So, I mean, I think they'll. So I don't know if you watched the Nintendo. I mean, they even called their press conference at E3 Nintendo Direct.
Okay.
So it's just something that they drop on press releases.
That's what they call like their
And that
get-together.
shit was literally just a 20-minute video of every single Smash character and what their special abilities were. Dude, my eyes were like falling out of my head.
It just like was never. Not that I'm complaining at all, but it was like just never ending. Like,
no, I'm complaining.
data.
It was awful.
You thought it was too long?
Yeah, I hated it.
Well,
like
it makes me wonder too, like what big announcements can there be at Direct other than like, oh, X is going to be in that game. Oh, this map exists also.
I mean, like we get it. It's a fighting game with Nintendo characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Like
awesome. We already like it. You don't have to like showcase the hits off of it. Like
I don't know anyone who's like not stoked. You know what I mean? Like people who have Switches at least.
We want to see people fighting.
I want to see the game.
I don't want to see a expose on every fucking character in the game.
By the way, Ness is here. Have you heard of Ness? Like that kind of thing.
I'm not going to be standing in line to buy it thinking, man, what is young Link's special ability? I got to figure that out right now. It's going to be more of like, I want to go home and split screen this with somebody and fight. So I think they'll probably just show some gameplay, talk about it a little bit.
Yeah,
but there's some speculation. Maybe they're announcing something.
Something to do with a new Pokemon, though, too. They could throw something in with that.
Right. Or people are really wanting Animal Crossing. So
would you pick up Animal Crossing if that came out?
I would.
What if it's like
my
the Wii
girlfriend
U version?
So I didn't play
loves
that.
Animal Crossing, and she's really excited for it. Erica is like, she's like, she watched the Nintendo show at E3 just to see if they talked about Animal Crossing. So, but I hope they do. I mean, I like Animal Crossing.
It's great.
That's a good one, yeah.
The mobile game is awful.
I haven't touched that one at all.
It's just a grind simulator.
That sounds fun.
But then there's the Wii U version.
So what was different about that one? I never played that one, so I'm curious. Like, what weren't you like a huge fan of?
Well, it was a board game aspect.
I'm out.
Yeah, it was board game, and then to roll, you had to touch an amiibo to the reader every single turn. That was another one they didn't like. Yeah, it's.
And for these reasons, I'm out.
It was awful.
Nintendo always has this thing where they get like a popular brand or game, and they just it's popular for what that is, and then they take it and skin a completely different thing with that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking like Mario Party and stuff like that, like just
or just like, oh, you like Shovel Knight? Well, here's Shovel Knight baseball. It's just like. They'll just skin something that's not the reason you originally liked the game at all with that character.
Yeah, like the original Mario, he's a plumber. Yeah. And now we've got baseball, soccer, tennis, and then...
But the funny thing is a lot of those games are fun.
It works, yeah.
It's like, it's just funny because like no one else would ever think to do that. It's like Gears of War Epic would have never been like, oh, we're going to do Gears of War farming simulator. It's like
what the kids are playing.
Nintendo would do something like that, and it would be good.
It's because they can.
Yeah, well, and you look too like at
you can stick Mario on anything, people will buy it. Zelda on anything, people will buy it.
I'm living proof.
Yeah.
Well, you look too like I think they can do it because they've proven that they will try to make a good game first and foremost. Yeah. You look at the opposite side, Konami. They took the Metal Gear license and made Metal Gear Survive, which is a steaming pile of shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and like Halo Wars is like subpar RTS game, and
I'm just wearing the hat because it was $2 on clearance because nobody else bought it.
Hey, I ain't knocking it.
It's a Halo Wars.
I did not even notice that.
Is it really?
Yeah. Hate the game. The hats are
like Cody's like,
what is that?
What the fuck?
Get that away from me.
Speaking of earlier, I went to eat yesterday and I asked the server for something. He's like, hey, I like your hat, by the way. And I was also like, who are you with? Who sent you?
Do you know Bill?
Who sent you, motherfucker? I know you know one place Halo.
You're like, are you making fun of me?
That's what he was doing. He's like, nice hat.
It was on clearance, guys.
He's like being genuine, like he likes your hat, and you're like, all right, motherfucker.
Fuck you.
You just lost my business. He's saying.
All right, you snide bitch.
Fuck you.
What's your angle here? Because we know you're not a fan of Halo Wars. Because it sucks.
Yeah, because it's awful.
Yeah. We were just talking about, I know this is off topic or rambling or whatever, but all the Smash characters. Did you guys see that Negan is coming to Tekken?
Yeah.
Is he really?
That
I saw
is
that
something that
yesterday.
I've never seen before.
Yeah.
I
Like a
mean,
TV character.
a random TV character coming to a fighting game.
What?
Well,
So
besides
Soul
Celebrity
Calibur
Deathmatch.
has brought some interesting people in, but I don't think it's ever been outside
Vader
of
and
gaming.
Yoda.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, that's true. Vader and Yoda. And they put Master Chief in, which was like weird for them because it was like not an Xbox thing, really. But Master Chief was in one of the Soul Caliburs.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Soul
But
Calibur
Negan?
4 was the shit.
Yeah.
Negan though.
Yep. It was
Negan.
just-
That's just. I don't know.
I don't.
Is he gonna have a bat?
Was he
Like
do just
the-
hit people with Lucille?
Mortal
Okay,
Kombat
yeah.
11, Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Call him out.
I mean, might as well.
What's the deal
Start
here?
putting in TV characters.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what I just mentioned. I missed that game so much. Is I don't know who made it, but Celebrity Deathmatch. Do you guys remember that game?
I never played it. No,
Oh
no.
man, it was so
I
good.
honestly like the
Like
show,
the MTV?
too.
Yes.
Yeah, the
thing?
show
Yeah,
back when
with like the claymation characters.
Yeah.
The video game was so good. And bring back backyard wrestling too.
Dude, you said it. I was thinking it.
Backyard wrestling.
There
was
goes the
real
neighborhood.
OG. Do you remember the downhill racing game for PS2? The downhill mountain bike racing game?
Yes. I just saw it come up the other day. Something aggressive or something like
I
that.
remember renting that from Blockbuster like 20 times.
Mhm.
Like I just never bought it for some reason.
That's how I did
'Cause it
with
was-
Gears 1.
Because it was
on
like
360. I just kept renting it.
Because it was like a one-off, just like jump in play game. It didn't have like a career mode or anything, and so I was just like, oh, I just feel like playing this. I'm gonna rent it.
Yeah.
And I remember being like 14, 12, 13, 14. I rented it like 100 times.
I did that with one game, but I can't remember. But it was I had the Game Pass too, so that's what I missed so much.
My copy of Skate 2 that I still have is in a Blockbuster box.
That's so right.
I never took it back.
You might have to go
Blockbuster was
to.
around?
You might have to
Oh,
go
yeah.
to Alaska and return that.
Yeah, there's like one left now.
Aren't there? I think there's like one or two. It's
No,
like
they
they're-
closed the one.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's
Shit.
yeah,
It's like
they
an
just
Anchorage.
did it. It was like last week or
Dude,
2 weeks ago.
right.
Yeah. There's like one Blockbuster left.
Dude, that's wild. Isn't that crazy?
And I hope
You
it
could
stays
rent
standing.
Game Boy Color games at one point. Remember that?
You could rent consoles.
Yeah,
they
the
had like the
Pikachu, I
carrying
remember
case and
the Hey You or whatever it was, the 64 Pikachu.
I remember going in there and playing on the 64
the snap
kiosks.
stations.
Yeah.
Okay, you could print out the pictures.
Yep. Yep.
That was so cool.
And then they did a
God,
thing
it
that was
so
kind of
cool.
like a Games Pass thing, where it was like $40 a month or something, and you had like unlimited rentals, or you could have like 2 out at a time. It was like this is like pre-Netflix
Yeah.
even. It was like a
But
subscription
it was like
thing.
a year or two before they closed.
Yeah.
Or the one that we had, yeah.
And then they like, for some reason, didn't embrace streaming. Like Blockbuster had all the opportunity in the world to become a streaming service, and they actually did it.
A lot of people were
A
scared.
lot of people don't remember there was a Blockbuster thing that was like Netflix. Like you logged into your Blockbuster account and you could stream movies online.
Oh really?
And this is like early streaming, so it's like bad quality. Like you gotta have really like top of the line internet, and it was pretty expensive. It's like $40 a month or something,
Yeah.
So which back then, if someone walks up to you in 2005, 2006 and says, "Hey, you want to watch all the movies you want for $40 a month?" It's like, yeah,
absolutely.
like I spend more than that at Blockbuster.
A lot of people were probably like, I'm good, I got Bear Share.
That's true. I mean, for
Very
people
fair.
pirating, but for your like casual,
Yeah.
movie watcher, like that's like not that. It sounds crazy now because we have Netflix, but Blockbuster had every opportunity to. I think they were in proposition to buy Netflix and didn't do it.
That's insane now that you
Yeah.
think about it.
Yeah, I'm pulling that out of my butt, but I could swear I read that
I believe it.
they were in position to buy Netflix and turned it down.
And now look at Netflix. How
I wonder
much
if the
it is.
owner's still alive. The guy who turned that down.
Mr. Buster.
Yeah, Mr.
David Buster.
Yeah, he owns the rights to HoloLens.
He's like, no more.
He likes to just go around shutting good things down.
He's got enough money. Probably could.
It's funny that the movie passes. That was something we were going to talk about because I have never
That's a great
never
segment.
heard of this until like 2 months ago, and I've actually wanted to get Movie Pass.
Yeah.
And now they just fucked it.
You and I are in the same boat. Like, I heard about it because one of my coworkers like got into it, and he's like, "You should check it."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds cool." And then like come to find out, like, because the big break was what? It was Fallout. Mission Impossible Fallout. When that came out, it was a big deal for like, oh, you can't go see this. Oh, Movie Pass is not offering. Yeah, so Movie Pass apparently, from my understanding, has been hemorrhaging money for months. Like, just insane loss.
It has been since the beginning, I think. And I don't know if you guys know or not, but the Movie Pass CEO is the guy who started Netflix.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Did he split from Netflix, or is this like a subsidiary that they're just testing?
I don't think he's been behind the wheel of Netflix since like 2008 or 9.
Got it.
But he's the guy.
3 movies per month.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He's the guy who originally founded. I'm sure we could pull his name up real quick or something, but he's. I was watching a Vice bit on him, and he doesn't seem to be worried about it at all.
Really?
Basically, the same thing happened with Netflix in the beginning. It wasn't solvent. It lost money. People said it wouldn't work. They had to do the split stock thing to keep afloat, and now it's the biggest thing in the world. And it just takes a while for things like this to get traction, because you're revolutionizing an industry.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've been consuming movies in theaters for the same way since 1920. You know, since like silent films. You walked up to a theater, you buy a ticket, go inside and watch the movie. That hasn't changed in 100 years. You know, that's no like
I
hyperbole.
got somebody
Like,
open the back door for me.
yeah, yeah, and it, you know, it depends if it's like an adult film or whatever. But no, it's revolutionizing 100-year-old methodology is gonna have some road bumps.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't go. I mean. I wouldn't go short on Movie Pass. Like I think they'll be fine.
Movie Pass sounds really good in theory, because there's people like me who go to the movies. You know, when something good comes, like really good, I'll go every 2 or 3 months or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I go to the movies, every time I'm like, God, that was so expensive.
Yeah.
And it's expensive to go to the movies. It's like, if you want to get drinks, you know, popcorn, some candy, and then 2 tickets, it's like $40-$50.
For sure.
And so, like, you know what? I've seen this Movie Pass thing. I'll just buy it, and you only use it 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Every 2 to 3 months, and
it's if you see like two movies a month, like one like, you know, every other week, let's say, like you've more than paid for it, and like it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Granted, I'm by no means a business owner, but like it just, unless you have some crazy partnership, like even them limiting it to 3 movies a month per user, to me still seems like you could lose a fair amount.
Yeah, and
so,
for those hardcore people that go to the movies like every time it comes, there are people that do that.
Oh, of
a
course.
Ton.
Yeah.
And for them, I mean, they're not going to make any money off of them. But then if there's people like me who go to the movies only a few times a year.
Yeah, the movies thing is weird.
That's how they make money.
Yeah,
like that's
exactly.
my thought, is like you make money off the people who buy it because they want the convenience of it, but then they'll go see a movie. I see a movie maybe once every 6 months.
Yeah,
That's
but
about
if we
all.
had it,
he will
for
use
sure.
it. The CEO will openly tell you there's only 2 ways that this is profitable.
Mm-hmm.
One is people that sign up for it and just don't use it,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one is monetizing your data. So whenever you use this, you agree that your data can be used for advertising or for whatever.
Yeah.
And so they target. The plan is to target you and bundle things with it. So like you're in Knoxville and you go, I want to go see a movie at the Regal Riviera downtown. So then Downtown Grill or whatever right next door, they're like, oh, before your movie, here's a free appetizer if you want to come over to Downtown Grill and have dinner beforehand.
You know, that's genius.
That's how
that's cool.
it's going to make money.
Yeah.
And he'll tell you that monetizing your data and just you not using it is the only way it's profitable.
Yeah.
In the long term, without those things, it will fail.
Yeah.
So I think that this is to get them through hemorrhaging cash, because right now it's just not solvent and they're borrowing money. Once they really iron out monetizing the model and selling, you know, stuff on top of it, or, you know, promotions and stuff, I think it'll be just how it'll just be how we go to the movies. Just like, and if this one fails, another similar thing will come along and replace it.
Yeah.
It's gonna, like, in my opinion, I mean, a lot of people may be laughing at me for this because everyone seems to think MoviePass is just about to go under any minute now. But I think it's going to be just like Uber replacing taxis, Netflix replacing Blockbuster, something. It may not be this one, but something like MoviePass will replace buying single tickets for movies.
Well, he's already got proof. I mean, it happened with Netflix, so why would he be worried?
I don't see any way that we just keep buying single tickets for movies. I don't think that'll continue.
I'll be interested to see, because like those like innovations that you talk about, like, fundamentally change how you do stuff. Whereas this is just, I'm going to see the movie. The process of watching this film has not changed for me. It's just now it might be less expensive for me to do it.
Right, but it does sort of change the experience because there's no transaction with the thing that you're going to.
Okay.
The transaction has completely been moved over to a third party.
Okay.
You don't interact with the theater at all in this. Like,
but so many people use Fandango and will buy their ticket on Fandango right before they even get to the theater, so they can pick their seats and they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. And even Fandango is basically just a convenient way to buy a ticket from the theater.
Yeah.
This is like sort of like a whole nother thing.
Sure.
Because it's like a service.
But how do they do that? You think? How do they pay the theater enough to get reservations for however many? You know what I'm saying?
Fandango or MoviePass?
MoviePass.
It's got to be like
they have to have some kind of deal with the theater. Like, the theater has to agree to it.
Yeah.
So I mean, Regal or AMC could basically say like, no, we're not doing that. So
yeah.
Which happened in the early stages of it. AMC was like, this is not going to happen.
I'd like to see the agreement, like the split percentage.
What percentage or something like that. Yeah.
It's weird because the math just doesn't make sense. Like when you don't really look into what they're doing, they're selling your data way more than they're selling anything else.
I would imagine that's totally true, and we've already seen that's very profitable.
And they're very transparent about it. He'll tell you if you're not comfortable with your data being sold and monetized, don't use MoviePass. It's not the service for you. So I mean, you can't really fault the guy there.
Is what it is. He's just going to tell you.
He's not Zuckerberg yet.
Zuckerberg.
He's not Zucking.
Yeah. Well, I would like to see it work because it's a really, really cool way to have that kind of come to be. And if not this, maybe a different platform.
Something like it will. I think the theater experience is bound to change.
The way we watch movies is changing. Like, it's still actively changing. So like, that's why I'm genuinely curious.
It could either be like the new way to watch movies, like he said, or we thought the video games, the way we're going to play games, are going to change when the the Ouya? Is that what it's called?
The Ouya, yes sir.
When that was coming out,
I bought it. It's the Ouya console.
we thought just sitting at home and having access to all these games, and then
Shit. So I still like having physical copies of games.
Oh,
I do too.
That's what I love. But
it's me with music too. Like, I like tangibility.
It's either going to be like the next best thing for movies, or it's going to be the Ouya.
And I think that's cool to see. Like, as a third party, as someone who's just kind of watching it happen, like, I'm intrigued genuinely. But
I don't even watch a lot of movies.
That's me.
And I could see them doing something like a Marvel Pass or like a,
like different studios have their own pass.
Right. So like you could get some kind of Marvel service where you pay a certain amount, and every time a new Marvel movie comes out, you can go see it or something. Something like that.
Yeah.
Like there's not enough that come out for that to make sense right now.
Yeah.
But it could maybe be a bundle of something else, like Marvel Unlimited is $10 a month, and if you're a comic book reader, you can read every back issue, not every back issue, but like thousands of back issues of Marvel Comics. So they could have like a Marvel Unlimited Plus where it's like, $14 a month or whatever, and you get all the Marvel comics, and every time a Marvel movie comes out, you get to go see it.
That sounds awesome. It's like when HBO had when you were watching Game of Thrones as it aired, I think it was HBO Now, you could have it up on your tablet, So as you're watching the show, you could see like notes about different characters and like different links between them as it was actively like being aired.
Yeah.
Which I thought was super cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I would like stuff a lot.
And I use Marvel Unlimited. Like I'm a subscriber to Marvel Unlimited. So
I would much rather see something like that integrated with more shows than say The Talking Dead after The Walking Dead.
Yeah, and like
you can get the same point across and all the same points, but I mean, nobody wants to sit there and watch Chris Harddick for.
I'm some kind of commentary. Yeah, and he got in some hot water recently over like a sexual harassment scandal.
Yeah. What's the fallout there?
They took him off of all the like main platforms. AMC, his thing got canceled on there, and I think he was like filming a pilot for something for FX, and it got canceled. But he still publishes his podcast.
It's crazy.
Just his independent podcast, but they took him off Nerdist.
Dude.
Well, he's been off Nerdist for a little bit, but
because if I remember correctly, they found to be false allegations, right? Or were they
I
true?
think it's still being kind of worked out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just crazy. Like the whole thing is wild.
He denied the allegations.
Yeah, of course.
But I can't really say whether they're false or not.
I don't know if they. Like I said, I can't remember if they weighed one way or the other. But it's insane. It really is. That whole thing is crazy.
But yeah, I mean, I would rather watch. I would rather have live commentary than an after show.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that a lot, especially for people who don't necessarily get screen time, like directors and stuff like that, talking about like thought processes and how stuff was kind of put together. I think behind the scenes stuff is fun. I love buying music and seeing like the recording setup. You know what I mean? Like seeing them actually do stuff. I think that's really compelling.
Studio updates. I always look forward to studio updates for like, I know that albums are coming out, and people will either put teasers before or after making videos. Yeah. And that's sometimes the best part because
it's just cool.
You're so wrapped up in what it is you want to see every aspect about it. So bonus features are always going to be a thing.
Cody and I kind of talked about this before about like, do the people who make media influence your like enjoyment of it? Like, if you don't like the person, would you like stuff that they make? And I feel like that I almost have to say I find myself kind of in agreement of like, if I don't like them, I don't know if I'll love everything they make.
Yeah, and so I said on last week's episode that it didn't for me, that I just didn't care, and I thought about it. I actively tried to like see if that was really true, and like I was scrolling through music and stuff, and I was like, that's not 100% true, because like sometimes I'm like, I'm not gonna. It's hard for me to get into something if I just don't like the person making it.
I think that's part of the experience though. Like it's they say any sort of media.
But I'm forgiving about it.
Sure.
Like if someone does something that is a little off color or whatever, I like especially in the gaming community, people will just get written off. Like you got they're just like, oh, don't like this guy. He's horrible. You know.
It doesn't. If it's on the internet, it doesn't matter if you delete the VOD, delete the clip. It's there.
Yeah.
Somebody is screen recording at all times.
Right.
If you're a bigger streamer, somebody's got your every movement. There's no deleting it.
Yeah, and I can still enjoy it anyways. So.
It's 50-50 on that stuff. So I feel you.
Let's look in the comments real quick because there's a lot of stuff going on there. See if we can respond to anything going on there.
So, I would think movie theaters will cease to exist at their current scale before MoviePass takes over 50% of the market.
I think that's fair. I think that the layout has to change somehow because, like I said, it's the fundamental difference to me we haven't like moved not far away enough. I still love theaters, but the dynamic hasn't changed to me at least.
Yeah.
So.
And now you also said that. See, there's something like because I looked into this a while back, but he said movies should launch straight to the house. Maybe the theater chains will keep their current deals to show movies for 1 year before streaming devices by stating their own monthly plan, or pay to stream on smart TV and apps.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm totally behind that. Like a studio, like you pay like a monthly thing and get it as it airs.
Yeah, and there is something. I looked at this a long time ago. Like, if all the theaters get it, rich people can have access to it, and it's you have to be rich. It's thousands and thousands.
I remember reading this.
To get the box that new movies get put to, and it's very expensive, like $10,000 or more.
Yeah, that's like per showing, something like that.
That's basically making the argument that the only reason theaters are even in existence is because there's a period where that's the only place you can get the movie.
Mhm.
So if we
That's
take that
changing,
equation out of it, it's like, does the theater survive not being the first place to get a movie?
I don't think as we know it.
Some people enjoy the whole theater. I mean, everybody. Who doesn't enjoy going to the
Yeah.
theater? But
I would still go to a theater even if movies launch straight to digital on day one. I would still go to theaters.
I enjoy the experience, but it's expensive as hell.
There's one thing that convinces me for theaters benefit, like you can't really beat a theater on right now without paying inordinate amount of money, is sound.
Right.
So like video is here or there to me. Like obviously I can get like a really nice quality on like my monitor or on like a decent TV you get for like a couple $100, but the sound that you
But you can't put in like Dolby surround sound in your room. This
Atmos.
theater quality, like it's not gonna happen.
You can't do that, and that for me, like to me, sound is about 60% of the experience. Like maybe that's undercutting it. Like sound is a big part of movies. I really think so.
And it's the whole atmosphere. Like if you were
Yeah.
in this room alone watching a movie, I mean, you get into it or whatever, but it's everybody else's reactions too. Like there's that one guy who just like yells at the top of his lungs to laugh, and that makes you laugh even more.
Yeah.
That's the experience.
For me, I hardly go to theaters other than for Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like I go for Star
It's gotta
Wars.
be a blockbuster. It's got to be a blockbuster.
Yeah.
To pay the
Like I'm in a theater release night for Star Wars, anything Marvel, you know, Wonder Woman, like any big name DC movie, I guess.
Sure.
But that, you know,
I agree
I'll
with
probably go see Fantastic Beasts in the theater. It's like, but other than that, like I'm not gonna watch random movies in the theater, and I know people do that, and that's fine. I just usually don't.
Yeah, it's just personally, and I don't know if that's like just a shift in generations. I don't think it is. I think it's just how you kind of like to consume media. I think that a lot of that is personal preference, but I think the majority of people favor that mindset of like, I'll go see the 3 movies that I want to see this year in a theater, but other than that, I'll wait for some people for Redbox, some people they'll just stream it as soon as it hits like Prime, or like if you have HBO, whatever you do.
Yeah, the person, and there's a ton of people out there, but the person who has social anxiety isn't going to be on release night for Star Wars around that huge crowd of people. They'd rather be at home by themselves.
You could probably make a ton of money doing like the release date at home, like stream to digital right away.
Sure.
Like,
and that would even be fun. Like you could have like a release party or whatever. You know, have some people over and like
all
right at midnight or right at the time where it drops or whatever. You can all watch it together, and then you still get like there's still an experience to be had.
And I know it's you can still do it because people do it now, but think about how much more piracy of movies there would be, and that's probably a big thing that's holding them back. I mean, who can't just set up a tripod with their iPhone right here? But you can't do that.
People do that
in
anyway.
a theater. Yeah,
people
they
do it anyway. So
they carry the whole setup in, but it's a lot harder.
My DSLR, and I recorded the new Avengers movie.
Yeah, it's funny that like
it's like 4K cameras and they're still 188p.
It's insane.
144, my bad.
I ripped this from my phone.
Maybe IMAX could take over the theater experience. IMAX could. They definitely could take over, but IMAX is even more expensive.
Yeah.
To see like.
Guys, I gotta go. I hate to do this.
Yeah, man.
You're good, man.
Yeah, I gotta
Dude,
go.
good to have you. Thanks for being
having
here.
me, though. I'm going to do this again.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Take it easy.
All right, man. Take care.
Well, let's get into what you guys been playing last week or so.
Do you want to start, Brandon, as the guest, or?
You know, I actually played through.
You played Her Story last night.
Her Story.
How
yes.
was that?
Well, I just threw away the papers, but I had pages on pages of notes.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was just solving a murder mystery.
Dude.
And it had its twist and everything else, but it gave it like that true like 90s detective feel where you could have the glare on the PC screen and going back and seeing all the old videotapes. It was a really good game.
That game seems super compelling. Like, part of me didn't want to get into it because I was waiting for like a perfect time to just like blow through it. Yeah. Not that I could fly through it in one setting, but like I just wanted time where I could just sit with it for a while because it looks really, really cool. So
yeah, I agree with. He said I think games like Her Story need to be bigger in the market. Yeah, I do agree with that, but it's just all personal preference, you know. Some people don't want to sit down with a pen and paper and write out stuff. They'd rather just get it out on Call of Duty.
Yeah, there are like games to me that like kind of experiment with the medium are really cool. Like there's this super small, it's not in the exact same vein, it's a very simple game, but there's a horror game you can get on like Itch.io right now called Anatomy, by this artist. Her name is Kitty Horror Show. Have you heard of this?
I believe so.
It came out like 2 years ago, and it's like $3, and it's a game that kind of plays with your like perception, and like the game itself kind of fools with you in a way, and I really like that.
It's not. I have not heard. I've heard of Agony. That's the one.
That's the game in hell. Yeah.
Yes, that's the dark one.
They're very different, but it's worth a look. Like I said, it's a $3 game, and it's maybe my favorite horror game. You could beat it in an hour. Like it's real short, but it's like usually above and beyond like games that just how much I enjoyed playing it at the moment. Like I'll usually gauge how much I like the game by how much I come back to it and how much like I use it as benchmarks. And like that game definitely has been like a benchmark to me for like psychological horror and like how to do it pretty well in a game.
Yeah, replayability is a big one. Like Silent Hills and Resident Evil, I can always go back to those as horror games.
Oh yeah,
There's some horror games where it's just like one and done.
For sure, and this is probably in that same vein. It's probably a game that you could play. There are technically multiple endings, but the end goal is still the same. Yeah. Like so it's a game that you could pretty well play once, but I recommend it. Like it's definitely like I don't want to give anything away because like part of it is experiencing the game unfold, but I like games that play with that, like play with, because you remember, did you had a GameCube, I would assume, and like what was that,
Eternal
Darkness, how like it would play with your screen and stuff like that. So I just think that's really cool. I think that is super cool.
And that's another one. Her Story, I mean, that was cheap too. It wasn't $3, but I think it was like $4.99, maybe $9.99 at most.
Still,
so you can't go wrong with it. And it's a 3-hour game, and it'll definitely test you, and the twists in there make it good too. So
that's cool. Yeah, I definitely need to play that game. It looks super good.
What else you been playing?
Trying to think here. Played a little bit of Remothered. That was another horror game where you gotta run from a naked dude.
Hell yeah! Now is this this is on Steam or?
Yeah.
Okay.
That one's it was on sale, so I bought it for like $10. But
okay.
That one was pretty good, pretty scary, and then played through not too long ago Detroit Become Human.
Is that I like David Cage games? So is that a good one?
Yes, it is. It's really really good, and you become. Well, for me at least, I became like emotionally attached to a few of the characters. Mm-hmm. And the good thing about it was, I didn't know, which I'm glad now, but I didn't know that you could go back and replay the checkpoints and change your decisions.
Oh, okay. So
so I didn't know that, so it made everything like matter.
Got it.
Instead of just being able, I'll see if what happens if he dies, and then go back and change it.
I prefer that. I like the consequences, like kind of weighing you, not weighing you down, but like always weighing on your mind.
That decision being tough.
Yeah, for sure. It should be. I think that is what makes a lot of those games compelling.
And there was a few times where like, fuck.
Yeah.
I can't, but then again, I didn't know that I could go back and redo it. And I'm glad I did in the first playthrough, but that's a game where I never bought it, but I spent $40 renting it. Yeah. So.
There's, did you ever play the Telltale's Walking Dead?
I played the first chapter. Is it first chapter or episode where it's free?
It might be the first
season?
I think so. The full like 5. There's 5 chapters I think in a season is how it works.
Yeah.
So I've played the first season, but so you played all the way through that.
The very beginning one where she wrecked down the hill.
Yeah. Wreck the car.
Yeah. I played that then.
That game.
Just the free version.
Sure. So if you like find if you find it on sale for like the full game, it's worth a look at this point. Like that game definitely struck me with a lot of really difficult decisions. Like I won't give away any like big spoilers, but one of the really early ones is like because you play Lee. Like in that case, you're like the kind of leader of like this little group of people, and like one of the early decisions is. You've got like let's say 8 people there, and you only have like 3 pieces of food, and you have to choose who gets fed that day.
I've actually watched a lot of that, like you'll see the clickbait YouTube ones where it's like the hardest decision ever made in a video game, and it's like crying and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I've seen those, and they seem like they're they're definitely hard decisions where you've got to make sacrifices.
Yeah, I personally at least I find that pretty compelling in games when they like force you to kind of debate that. I think that's cool.
He said, how about a game like Layers of Fear? Do you think games like that will continue to thrive, or are they one-time games and in the clearance section?
I haven't played Layers of Fear yet.
Layers of Fear was actually highly praised, but it's, I mean, unless it's a AAA horror title, it's not going to outlast Resident Evil. It's got to have names like that behind them where it's big and on multiple consoles to make a difference.
That was psychological horror, right?
Yeah.
Look at like Amnesia though.
Yeah.
Or like Soma, like frictional games, like
I
having.
never played Soma, but I've heard it's got good stuff.
Soma's good. Soma is very much like not a scary game and more of just like a tense game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Amnesia is probably one of the most scared I've ever been playing a game,
yeah.
just in honesty. But Soma is a lot more, I guess, introspective is the word. It kind of like forces you to think about stuff. I don't want to give away a lot because I kind of want people to play the game if they haven't. But I like the way that game kind of forces you to think.
See, Soma, is that the one where it's underwater?
Yes, that's the one where you wake up.
I don't know if that. It just didn't really appeal to me. Like, I like survival horror.
Sure, it's very much not a survival game.
Where it's an ass clincher.
Yeah, well, there are moments of that. Like it's very much like there are scenes that remind me of like Amnesia, like sneaking around to get behind enemies. You're still basically defenseless, so you can't fight back. But and again, it's not like it's not a scary game, but I found myself not being that scared by it. Like there are like tense moments where you're getting around stuff.
Right.
Outlast is the one with the camera, right?
Outlast is the one with the camera.
Got the night vision. You got batteries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I played a little bit of that.
That game is cool. The first one's cool. The second one didn't appeal to me near as much.
I've mostly sat out this conversation because I don't play horror games.
Oh, sorry.
I'm scared.
I'm a scared boy.
No, I've never been a huge fan of them. I mean, I definitely respect, there's definitely big culture around those types of games. It's just not something I've ever...
Right, yeah. It's either you love them or you don't.
I played Outlast.
Yeah. I like scary games. I feel like there's not that many great
I know
games.
you guys are both huge fans of...
Not this... Well, I mean, there's a good amount for this generation, but nothing like the PS1 days.
Like, dude, or like, remember Penumbra and stuff like that? Like, games
I remember. Yeah.
Scare my pants off.
Those are...
And the Condemns, they were really good.
They were great, and they were like... The thing with that, though, is I look back on it, and I'm like, man, the reason that game was scary is because I couldn't see fuck.
In Fear?
I just couldn't see
I was
anything.
about to say Fear is like that. It's just jump scares.
Yeah, I personally, like, I think jump scares, movies, games are just lazy, and they kind of, like, I'm very much turned off to that. But, like, a really, really well-done, tense environment,
Yeah, that's the
what's
thing,
not to like?
We'll be in a theater, and jump scares don't get me. Like, everybody was like,
Yeah.
and it doesn't bother me. I don't know why, but a tense environment, like you said, where you're getting chased, and you have to hide, and there's a naked guy with his ass showing.
Dude, that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, that's a...
There's like one, obviously it doesn't feel, you don't feel cheated out of like, oh shit, you got me, spooked you kind of thing. It's like very much that the world itself is scary, not the thought of being scared is scary. You know what I mean? Like that's more as like it plays on your expectations, which
that's the thing. Like, if I'm not expecting a jump scare, but if it's something that's building up and I'm in this environment and I know something is going to happen eventually, then
it's not as appealing then. So,
well, Mister, I hate horror. What have you been playing?
Well, I do.
You hate horror. We heard it.
I do. Man, nothing interesting since last week, especially just the damn Rocket League,
dude.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I played it very, very briefly, not enough to talk about it, and from like a review standpoint. But I think the patch it did wonders.
It did, yeah.
We hit that pretty hard last week.
Yeah.
But I've been playing it, and it's better.
Long and short of
it's a different game.
For sure. The long and short of it for me, too, is like I've played it. It's better. If you want to play No Man's Sky, this is much closer to what you thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
So.
I'm not saying it's okay to release unfinished games and promise or something else and then patch them a year later, but props to them for doing it. And Sonic Mania, that's another one that
fantastic
patch just improved it. Isn't that correct?
Yeah.
I just read about a patch and now I really want to get that. And that's a Switch game and I can just take it wherever.
Dude, that's a hell yeah from me.
That's what's funny about Fortnite is the original Fortnite is just the
Save the world.
The Save the World PvE,
Yeah.
and like Battle Royale is just a Fortnite mode.
That's what Epic was hyping up more than anything for years was Save the World.
But everybody just calls Fortnite Battle Royale is just Fortnite. Like if you say I'm playing Fortnite, you're not playing Save the World PvE.
Well, if you're playing Save the World, that's when you. That's what you gotta say.
So that game came out like at a time when I was like the Save the World version came out at a time when I was like very much into like watching critics, quote unquote critics, play games and stuff like that. And so when people kept talking about like the Battle Royale Fortnite, I for about 2 weeks literally thought they were talking about the Save the World. Like for a while, like I kept thinking, I was like, why? I was like, that looks cool, but why is everyone talking about that? I was like, that's not what you're talking about.
One more thing about Fortnite. That's the way to do a game is make it free, and then cosmetics. Everybody's gonna play it if everybody can.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons Fortnite's so huge is it's.
Look at
League of Legends doesn't buy the Battle Pass.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's free, but everyone I know that plays Fortnite, except for Shane, buys the Battle Pass.
I can't tell you the last time. Well, Fallout, but that's an exception. Like and Resident Evil. I mean, but besides those two, it's. When have I ever spent like $200+ on a game?
It's weird because it's like easier to spend money on a free game.
Yeah, because it's like, you know,
you don't
every
feel
2 weeks.
bad about it because it was free. You're like, oh, the game was free, so I'll spend money on this. But it's like you're spending way more than you would have if it like you paid for the game up front. It's a weird kind of psychological thing.
In no way would I drop $200 all at once. I can space it out. You know, every couple weeks a new skin comes out. Hey, I'll get that, and that's $10, $25. Whatever.
If Fortnite was launching now and they were like, okay, it's a battle royale game,
you can
buy
skins.
a season pass for $90 and you get all these skins, people would be like, fuck no.
Yeah.
Who do you think you are?
But that's what we do.
It would be lawbreakers.
Yeah. It would be lawbreakers.
Dude,
it's the
Rip Bosky.
But yeah, that I've been playing. I jumped back into Fallout 4 randomly a little bit this week. I've put a few hours into that just for kicks.
Yeah.
I was redoing just the main quest just for fun.
Yeah, I wanna show you something. Speaking of, what do you play on Xbox?
On Xbox One, yeah.
Well, PC is getting. I don't know if you've heard anything about it.
I freaking dare you could.
But
my PC's on the way.
I forgot about that.
So this is 2 weeks ago here, and this is a Fallout 4 mod called Fallout Miami.
Oh, I saw this.
You did?
Yeah, let's watch this.
It's really cool.
It almost looked like a full-on
Looks like a new game, yeah. And this is what.
Who made this?
A fan.
So well done.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it takes is passion. Yeah. People that care about these games, they'll make the best content.
At the end of it, look at who the channel is. Let's shout him out.
This place used to be paradise. Now you got these young kids from up north with their souped-up cars. Don't even get me started on those slaver schmucks. But people out here survive. Some folks scavenge, others steal. The good ones band together, form communities for protection. Miami's a tough place. If it's not the gangs or the gator claws, it's the damn sandstorms. Or something much, much worse. I still remember when this place was peaceful, beautiful.
And these are clips from like 4 and New Vegas.
People came from all over just to vacation here.
So it's a 4?
Families with children. Good, hard-working Americans. But that was a long time ago. Just do yourself a favor. Don't go near that building. Something strange is going on. And I hate to say it, but this might be the beginning of something big.
So because of a fan-made mod, now I
That's
have to buy a
ridiculously
second
good.
copy of Fallout 4 for PC because I don't have it. I've got it for PS4.
That's insane.
And that's sort of why.
And the channel's just
Skyrim.
Fallout Miami.
Okay.
And
Dude,
they've
good
got,
on 'em.
you know,
And that's like Skyrim. We were talking about Skyrim mods the other day, and it's like the mods just have added on a completely new game.
Yeah.
I mean, and same thing with Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto, oh yeah.
I mean,
That's
the modding is just insane. I mean,
It's kept like the game. It's why I love. So I'm wondering how. Speaking of that, how because like modding to me has kept the game fresh. It's kept the game super exciting.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how the Bethesda launcher will change that. Will they still allow mods?
I think Bethesda
That's a good
is good with mods.
I hope so. Because I
mean,
yeah,
they were kind of the driving force behind mods being supported on console.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if we have it on console,
I don't think
so-
Bethesda's going to inhibit mods at all. Rockstar, on the other hand, is not huge for mods.
But also, there's the fans didn't care, so then they made the 5M launcher, and that's where you get everything. You launch
Right.
GTA through the mod program.
Right.
I've got like 20 minutes on Steam's version of GTA, but like 20 something hours on the modded one.
because
Right.
you did some of the role playing
Yeah,
stuff, right?
I did.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's entertaining.
I was gonna get back into that. I've been watching people do the role play, and it just made me want to do it again.
Yeah.
And that was never intended. I just bought the game when it was on sale, and then went to some of the modded servers, and people there just were fucking hilarious. I couldn't resist.
Takes
Had to
on
throw
a lot
on the
of time.
accent.
Dude, it's cool. I think it's awesome. I think that's the way that it kind of like builds bigger and better than the game even
Yeah.
started as.
It's
is
it's because of the fans. I mean,
For sure.
if you love something, you're gonna do it good.
They're just about to come out with a huge Fallout New Vegas mod. I think it's called New California. I could be wrong there, but like it's something that's been in the works for like years.
Yeah,
We've got a coworker who loves it to death, and he's told me
You
a little
guys-
bit about it.
Well, I know you like. Do you like Fallout?
Yeah, yeah.
What are you guys? All right, here's a question. What's your favorite mod? Fallout 3, New Vegas, or 4? Or not mod, but add-on. You're talking about mods. Your DLC content.
Oh, just DLC in general?
Yeah.
New Vegas.
Did you have like a specific one from New Vegas?
Oh, DLC for it.
Yeah.
Man,
Like
I
for
don't-
me, it'd be Point Lookout.
Yeah,
I
I'm not sure. What the Point Lookout was the one where it added on like
Swamp and then like the Moonshiners and
right, and then what was the one that launched like simultaneously? Didn't that come out at the exact same time as another one? Point Lookout, or were they staggered?
What's the one? Was it Cold War?
There was
Blues?
Operation Anchorage, The Pit. I think those came out at the same time.
Operation Anchorage, yeah. Okay.
That's the one where you go to the wintry mountainside and Mothership Zeta though. That one was.
I sort of just group them all in my mind as just New Vegas. Like I barely remember distinguishing. I actually never played New Vegas until after the DLCs were all already out. So I kind of just played them together. But
Yeah. When I bought it again, because I played it on Xbox with no DLC, and I played on PC with all of them. So like I don't remember them name by name. Unfortunately, I
They
wish I
could
did.
get away with just doing Fallout over and over again in a different setting. Just like
Yeah.
Fallout, New Madison, Wisconsin.
We live here.
New Knoxville.
There's cheese everywhere.
And I loved I'm with Cody. He's another one that hated the fusion cores in 4. I hate that.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't bother me because I had like 100 of them, but I had to glitch to do it. But it's just I feel like the Fallout 3 way of wearing the power armor where you have to train for it, and it feels like you've accomplished something instead of just stepping into a suit.
Yeah, I
think that's how it should
completely
be.
agree.
Yeah.
And they did the same thing going between Morrowind, Skyrim, Oblivion. It was just like they kind of dumbed it down, I guess. Like they made it more like
Oh yeah, Morrowind, you get dropped in and
Morrowind's the most hardcore thing. Like it's one of the most hardcore RPGs there is, and there's a lot of hand holding in Skyrim.
yeah, Oblivion's definitely my favorite. It's
Skyrim's like you kind of gotta
the best of
set
both
your
worlds.
character up a certain way. Morrowind, you can do anything you want.
Pretty sick.
What have you been playing, Colin?
2 games. I picked up 3 days ago the Steam release of Yakuza 0.
Nice.
That game is freaking awesome. So it's super cheesy. It's like if you like brawling games and you like Japanese games, it's right smack dab in the middle. So I mean, it's got like the crazy exposition. It's super cheesy. The fight mechanics are really fun. I, like an idiot, played about 2 hours of it, and then I was like, I've played enough for today. Turned the game off. Didn't even realize that you had to actively save it,
yeah.
which was absolutely my mistake. But one thing I learned from doing that is that I've played about 3 hours at this point, and it took me, if you skip every cutscene, at least half my time was spent just in the cutscenes. Like, if you play the game and just do the story, like I've completed the first chapter at this point, and it took me, like, it's probably like 60% voice acting, like listening to the exposition, and like 40% running around beating people up.
Have you ever played Metal Gear Solid 4?
Yes.
Talk about cutscenes.
Yes, sir.
If you've beat that game and not skipped anything, props to you. That's the worst with cutscenes, but you were talking about it and I had to bring it up because
dude, yeah, you're totally fine. And
you
like
have to watch them to understand the game at all.
The story to that game barely makes sense if I'm following it.
Yeah.
It's just like her making eggs and then random shit. And
You're like,
it
sure.
just jumps.
You're like someone just in their kitchen, and then you skip the cutscene, and then you're in like the middle of a war, and you're like, that was a big cutscene.
Yeah. Hour and a half.
So it feels like they're like small movies, and like it's a really fun game. I would say it's well worth $20 at this point. But again, I've only completed the very first chapter. Don't know how long it is. I've seen people in the Steam reviews get like 30-40 hours out of it and be like, this game's rad. Like it's so cool. I'm really enjoying my time with it. It's pretty silly fun. So if anyone likes brawls or like again like JRPG stylings, like a lot of the exposition and stuff like that, it's fun. It's very, very fun. And then I've been playing this puzzle game called Opus Magnum, which you may not have played a Zachtronics game. He's made games like Infinifactory, Space Chem, Shinsen.io. If you've heard of any of those games, he does like these really weird puzzle games, and like the whole thing is like you have like they give you these like basically molecules, and then you have to take them and create like a final product. You can do it however you want. You have to like bind the pieces together, create like a shape and stuff like that.
Sounds
and like
cool.
it's super cool. I love those types of games. I love all Zachtronics games though. And like you get part of me just wants to solve the puzzle and just be done with it, but the other part of me knows at the very end they grade you based on like how many pieces you used, how quickly it finished. I'm like, oh no. So I have to spend like forever like trying my best to get it like as clean as I can, because like I love like when it like finally works, like super satisfying to see it like get better than the first time you built it. They're really fun. Like it's a really, really interesting little puzzle game. Easy to learn, difficult to master, like all the greats are. So it's really fun. Really, really good. Yeah.
Got a couple questions here.
Let's do the comments real quick. We'll probably wrap it up.
Got one. What does Steam release mean? That just means it's just the PC version that's digital.
Yeah, so like, because it was just on consoles for a while, and then I guess this is the first Yakuza game to be on maybe at least Steam. I think the first one on PC though.
Right. Yeah, if you were about to buy a game on Steam, it's the full version.
Yeah, it's like $20 is the full price. It might go on sale soon. It might have been on sale when it first came out. I didn't see it when it came out, so not sure.
And then last one, how do you feel about the Atari VCS that is coming out, success or fail?
I'm
I
not sure
haven't seen much on it. I did see it. Is that the one where? Now I know Retron is making an Atari, and that'll be a success because anything they make is amazing.
The system killer.
Let me look up the Atari VCS real quick.
Oh, it looks like the what?
Oh, is it basically like a SNES?
Oh,
Mini?
You can stream.
It can stream.
Yeah, that's what virtual.
Virtual
Game stream connect like never before.
virtual cam stream.
Oh, it runs
It's
on a Linux OS.
OS. I've seen prototype pictures of this, and I was like, this is going to be so expensive, I'll never be able to get it.
Let's see on the pre-order, shall we? I'm gonna pull it up. It's not there. They've raised $3 million.
$329.
What? Why don't you buy a new car while you're at it?
Why though? What would it do?
Only like 35 people claim that version. They're buying the Joy. More people bought a second controller than bought the first version. Oh wait.
Here's the Retron 77.
What? No, okay. So 9 people bought the 239 version, and check this shit out. So 34 people. So a total of 43 people have bought consoles. Oh, that's the full version. Yeah, that's the one. So 43 people have bought console bundles, and 58 people have bought the joystick. Why though?
It says it has 11,000 backers though.
Well, it looks like you can just hook it up to any computer, so...
Oh.
And that, you know...
Am I just an idiot? Am I reading this wrong? Cody, what did I do wrong?
I don't know if there's too many USB
racks.
They raised 3 racks, and only looks like 100 people.
Yeah, that's just the add-on perks.
Oh.
Yeah.
But here's the Retron 77.
What the fuck it do? Okay, so it's an emulator. And you can stream emulator games.
See, but this one isn't. This one you play actual game with like the improved controller.
I'm pretty familiar with those.
But Hyperkin, anything they put their name on is amazing.
Yeah, Hyperkin is like the premier, just not emulator, but like retro remanufacturer.
It's and that's a big thing with collectors.
Yeah, I think they are actually.
Fuck yeah!
They already did. It's already been sold out and scalped. But they're doing a re-release.
Hey, if any of you see a Duke, I'll pay retail for it.
They're actually doing the.
No, Hyperkin did make the Duke.
They're doing this color now.
That's the one I want. I want the translucent green.
Yeah.
But it is Hyperkin, and then when you turn this on, it does. You know the original Xbox had the
Yeah, we talked about this thing last week.
Dude, I'm still stoked.
But
yeah, I mean, it looks cool. Like I like little emulator things. I mean, yeah.
Last thing I wanted to say.
Yes.
I don't know about you guys, but I've always wanted an arcade machine in my house.
Yes.
So there's this new.
I thought that was.
Now there's this investment deal I have.
It's called. Let me see here. See, like, okay, so stuff like this. I can grab this real quick. This isn't the kind of arcade machine I want in my house.
I'm thinking of one a little bit bigger.
Right, and this is super reasonable, and it's in.
That's perfect.
This is pre-orderable right now, and it's 4 feet tall.
Nice, just like me.
Okay, that's ridiculously good price.
$300.
Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with this. Arcade One. So pull up Arcade One up.
And they have a Street Fighter 2.
Can you buy your own boards and like put in different like motherboards?
That's the thing. If you get the cabinet and it comes with the screen, I'm sure you can hack into the cabinet and put a PC in there. That's
Dude.
You know.
I just want to play Tetris.
A lot of people.
Here's the Street Fighter one, and that's the best seller.
Yeah. That's so sick.
So a lot of people build these off of Raspberry Pis.
The main machines.
Yeah.
And you just you can basically emulate whatever in it. You can just run whatever you want.
You only need like 2 megabytes of memory.
Yeah.
And you can play every game known to man
But,
on an arcade machine.
Yeah, no. If it had like a 500 megabyte, if it had like a 500 megabyte drive in it, you could put the full SNES. All region, full NES, all region.
It actually said Arcade One up.
Probably
didn't even read that.
How big are 64 games?
I don't know. They can't be
2 kilobytes.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it's like
They're tiny.
They're megabytes.
Yeah, they're like a handful of megabytes. So
I don't even think 100.
How crazy is that to think about?
Yeah.
This one in the middle is a full size arcade machine.
So what's the appeal of these to you over just emulating something on a gaming PC?
I say the analog
experience. That's the way we used to play games.
The analog controller's better too, right?
Yeah. You and a friend come over and go head to head, standing up right there at the arcade cabinet.
Instead of having a stand-up desk and two joysticks.
Come here, dude. Sit on this, Nemo.
Colin, I'm gonna fuck you up and joust, you idiot.
And it's just the feels.
No, I got really crushed because if you guys didn't know, there's an Mario Kart arcade machine, and they can be linked together.
Oh shit!
So we all played 4 of these at Dave & Buster's.
I played one at Dave & Buster's. I was about to say the same thing.
Looked it up. I was like, you know what? This is like my all-time goal. This is what I want. For 4 machines, it's $50,000.
$50,000.
Pocket change,
$11,000 before tax a piece.
That's insane.
So we kind of glossed over this. I was going to mention it earlier whenever we were talking about like reskinning an IP onto like a different genre completely, like Mario Tennis.
Yeah.
This is not quite the same as that, but there's a new arcade machine, a new Halo game at Dave & Buster's. Just came out, or just got early access review last week. So, like, you know, traditionally, if someone's reviewing a game, they send you review copies before the game comes out. So for this, they had like a private event inside Dave & Buster's for, you know, game journalists. So you had to go to Dave & Buster's. But it's basically a rail shooter, but it follows the same missions as Halo CE.
That sounds... I personally don't want that.
Yeah.
See, I've never been a big fan of on.
But it has a physical gun.
Yeah.
It's just cool. I mean, it's cool for the fact that it's a Halo game that you can hold a big gun.
If it's a battle rifle, like it.
But
2-scale battle.
So the arcade versions of games always are. They're designed for you to sort of lose.
Right.
But from what I've heard from the reviews, it's basically like it's good enough. I mean, it's forgiving enough to where like they let you play for a while. Like it's an arcade game, so it's like you're not gonna like beat the entire game in like $5 or whatever, but you can get through a mission. Yeah.
So there's like 13 missions too. So I mean, even if like it was decently,
they were saying you'd have to spend something like $25, $30, $40 to get through the whole thing.
Get out of here.
If you're like really good, you could do 25.
Dude, I'm a pro. I'll get out here in 20.
I love that arcade machines are still around, but since you've been to Dave & Buster's, have you seen the new Tomb Raider one?
Have you seen the freaking Star Wars TIE Fighter game?
Yeah, I played that one.
That one gets me going.
I mean, you talking about the pod thing where you like go inside the pod?
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, but I like everything you're saying.
Yeah, someone in the chat was saying that the Halo machine is big, and they were talking about it is like it's got a big Halo Alpha on it, like it's got a huge Halo,
like a ring.
Yeah, like going over it.
That's wild.
And yeah,
is this it right here?
Whoa!
Yeah, that's it. Fireteam Raven. So I mean, it's cool. Like that.
It's meh.
That shit's.
I'm finishing this fight.
It looks cool.
Actually, it's pretty neat. I'm totally.
It's just Halo CE on rails, and you hold a gun.
That's fine.
And you pay money over and over again.
This is the one I'm talking about. The battle pod where you open up the door, go inside.
Why don't you guys want to spend $40 playing Halo CE?
What's wrong with you people?
I love the fact that arcade machines are still around, and they're just improving.
Oh yeah, the Star Wars battle pod is.
Like it blows wind in your face, kind of like that Dollywood ride.
My eyes, they're dry.
I spent like $20 playing that in Dave & Buster's.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Where'd you go to a Dave & Buster's? Atlanta?
Nashville.
Nashville.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. You can get like real drunk in there and go play Star Wars in a freaking pod.
Dude, I got shitty and spent $50 on Halo.
What's funny is like for games like that, you kind of have to like watch when someone's getting up and like go sit down at it. It's not like there's like a wall of them. There's usually just one. And I remember like looking out and there's like some like 6 or 7 year old kids like waiting to get in, and I'm just pumping like 20s into the thing.
You're gonna have to wait up.
Kid.
Go play some other shit.
Get out of here, mister. And I was like, get out of here, kids. I'm
Sir.
And I'm just like chugging Bud Light inside the Star Wars pod, just cramming 20s into it. But I mean, it's fun.
Dude, that's what being adults about. Drunk in a pod racer.
Get out of here, you kids.
This is
my pod.
If anybody knows our location, I feel like the old CC's right there on Broadway. That'd make for an awesome 24-hour arcade.
Just flip
Oh man,
it.
it'd be awesome if we had something like that around here.
We were just talking about that the other day. Just go in and because I was talking about like an internet cafe around here.
Yeah.
Downtown, like, I mean, who would have wanted go to the cereal bar before they opened it?
Right.
You got to open those things, and then who doesn't want to go play PUBG or Fortnite after they're drunk and walking home and the bars close?
For people who aren't from Knoxville, which is most people in the world, there used to be a place called Game Connection in Halls, and Brandon and I frequented that place. But
I paid their bill a couple times.
yeah. So it was basically like you could go in and pay. What you just paid by the hour, right?
Yeah, it was $6 an hour. But if they were young guys working, if you didn't bug them to switch the games, they'd let you stay until you did bug them.
And they basically just had every game. It was like a Blockbuster or whatever, and you just paid $6 an hour, and you could sit in there. Really nice gaming chairs, snacks, drinks, really good monitor, really good setups, and you could just go up to the counter and just swap in and out any game you want.
That's cool. So like whatever console you're feeling, just like jam it.
They had a gaming PCs. They had Xbox 360s at the time. It was Xbox 360, PS3s, and you could just pick a game off the shelf and sit down and play.
And you guys you just spent full evenings there just jamming games and stuff like that.
All day, during the summers, because we were in high school at the time, I guess, like freshman, sophomore in high school, and we would just sit in there till our eyes bled. And they had all-nighters in there.
Yeah.
So you could either rent the place out, or they just had special all-nighters.
Oh shit.
They did one. I remember one specifically they did for Gears of War. We went to the all-nighter for that, and I mean, we literally just sat in there playing Gears of War till 8 o'clock in the morning. So
that's the way to live.
But yeah.
That's the way I still live.
Dude, that's not so bad.
East Town Mall, how it's just dead now.
Right.
Sci-Fi City's still the only place open, and they still have stations.
They still do that there. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bitch. Son of bitch. That's right.
I think we touched base on pretty much everything we wanted to.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's about it for us, guys. We appreciate you guys watching. Dropping stuff in the comments as well. We appreciate you guys. The audio version will be up on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, whatever basically your preferred podcast platform. We'll have that up tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, thanks guys. It's been a blast. Seriously, nice being here with everybody.
Glad you guys,
thanks for having us on your show while you were on our show. Kind of combo there. So.
Showception.
Thanks, man.
I'm gonna end the stream here. Go give these guys a subscribe?
Yeah, whatever you get your podcasts on, just subscribe there. So, and check us out on YouTube, The Fully Torqued Show.
All right, you guys take it easy. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next time.